boss the other day. He's like, "Hey man, you feel like staying late today?" Nope.
No.
He's like, "Really?" I was like, "Man, let me just clear this up for you."
You're staying late today.
I said, "Well," I said, "I'm gonna clear this up for you right here. Do not ever, and I know I'm fucking myself, but do not ever, under any circumstance, ever ask me, do I want to? Because the answer will always be no.
Right.
So you're just wasting.
You
your
can
time.
make me stay late, but don't ask me if I want to stay late.
And if I do stay late, there'll be some sort of,
Move
not
your body.
necessarily monetary, but there'll be some sort of compensation for me on this deal. If it's monetarily, great. If you're gonna feed me, that's a good idea.
This is record.
Yeah.
Record.
Hey,
Okay,
all right, everybody.
we're live.
We're doing the thing.
Is YouTube live?
Yeah, we're about to find out.
We're gonna find out.
It says it is.
Spotify's live. That's all that matters. So I made a post today talking about we're gonna do like treat the month of October and keep it on like more the paranormal, spooky side of things.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that. So this is
Reminder.
this is day one, and we have
Not moving. That's cool.
our friends back. You want to pack up those mics? They're on.
They should be on already.
Yeah,
Hello.
we're here with Mike and Jonathan.
Yeah, I think it's already on.
Yeah, it's already on.
So, if anybody gets on YouTube, let us know if the audio is questionable because we're trying to figure out the mic situation for YouTube. They should be working okay, but fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll figure it out.
So this is the second time you've been on.
Third.
Third time.
Third time.
Third, I believe.
Yeah.
Third.
We had a half episode and it quit on us.
Well, we've had a whole episode, but they only got to hear half of it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
we had a good time.
That was great.
we did the one at Ruthie's.
Yep.
That episode to me is like one of my favorite episodes, and I wish we had like the video element when we did it because it was.
Oh yeah, it'd have been a lot better. Yeah, because the ambiance and the atmosphere. That place is great.
That's the only episode we've had to bleep anything.
That's true.
Wait, to bleep something?
You were talking about a ghost.
You
and
told
what
a story.
he said this old timey ghost said something, and we're like we should leave it, but then again we're like
Maybe not.
maybe it's one of the EVPs you got.
What was it?
I'm curious now. I don't even
No,
know what
it
it
was
was.
just
I mean, you have to bleep it again, but you know.
No, it was just the N word, and we were like, you weren't saying it. Yeah,
Yeah, you should probably bleep that word.
yeah,
Everything else is fine.
yeah,
Everything else is fine.
yeah.
You can say retard,
Retard.
Israel,
You can-
whatever you want.
If you say Israel 3 times, then Bibi Netanyahu comes
Shows up and kills
under your bed, and
Is he wearing clothes? If you're gonna make this shit up, do it right. Bibi Netanyahu
to
comes
be
in naked.
determined. I think it'd be even worse if he came in naked.
Yeah, 15-inch hog. He's coming after you. Take this juice.
a man,
Anyway.
take this juice.
Oh gosh.
No, man, I think a man with his problems, he probably doesn't have a big hog. I think he has a.
I'm not really sure. I want to know the real answer.
I don't either. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. That's
Yeah,
not a
we are.
Google search I want to fucking write up.
Oh,
Like,
that'll mess up your algorithm.
yeah,
his
Sure.
nickname
Bibi
is-
Netanyahu's dick size.
I don't know. His nickname is BB. He's probably got a big old dick. So.
Yeah. Oh, anything BB small though, yeah.
Tiny testicles.
Yeah.
Huge hog.
Oh, huge fucking gooner, dude.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're back. Hey, Travis is here.
Hello, Travis, whoever you are.
Your friend Travis.
Oh, that Travis.
That
What's up,
Travis.
Yeah.
man?
I was like, he brought your name up today when we said, hey, we're gonna have a spooky month or
Well,
fucking whatever.
Thank you, sir.
I was gonna tell him.
I didn't want to tell
But
him.
I never saw him at work, so I couldn't tell him.
Oh.
Oh, that's too bad.
So you invited a friend, Jonathan. I'm guessing you do the paranormal investigations together.
A little bit with
Yeah,
him.
a little bit. He's a rookie.
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 Yeah.
I mean, you got your own experiences, though.
Yeah,
so.
I do. I have some weird shit.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of just want to fucking dive in. We can talk. Well, it'll just come up naturally, but
For the new folks, why don't y'all introduce yourselves to the peoples?
Oh, my name is Mike McCaskill. I've been a paranormal investigator, if that's the right word.
Yeah, that's what they
stigma of
call you
some
yesterday.
name, yeah. For the better part of, I guess I'm working on 25 years, even though I've been pretty idle the last couple years, not doing a whole lot. But I'm part of a small team that we like to call ourselves a paranormal service team, meaning as in we're not out trying to prove the existence of anything. We're not out trying to do any scientific work. We're not out trying to be part of anything other than the premise that if we get called and people say they have a ghost, well, we have to sort some things out. You got to do things logically, but we generally say, okay, instead of saying you have a ghost, well, you have a problem, and we would like to help you solve whatever that problem might be.
Yeah.
Is it something paranormal? Great. If it's not, well, then we'll help you figure that out too.
Right.
So we've had a number of cases. With that said, we've had a number of cases that weren't anything paranormal at all. Right? It was just weird things going on in the house, particularly around electrical currents inside walls do strange things, right? And if there's a problem with that electrical current, we found that quite often where EMF is real high around
Well, there's a reason people don't
meter
live
boxes.
under, high voltage power lines for
Right,
very long.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Strange things happen. It does things to you, and then the placebo effect's really a powerful thing, right? Once you get something stuck in your head, and it's there, then you can convince yourself of quite a number of things. Look at politics today.
Checks
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
So
100%.
there you are. So, regardless of what you believe, you should. It's difficult sometimes, myself included, so I'm not calling anybody out of stepping outside your own box and then looking from the outside in and be self-aware, and there's a lot of paranormal stuff, stigma of that, I've seen so many times we call it the D word gets thrown around, which is the other side of angels, right? You know what I mean?
Democrats.
And yeah,
Sorry.
there you go.
That's it.
So sorry.
But and people use that word
Disney.
quite often because, well, we live unfortunately. Well, I don't say it's unfortunate. That's not the right word. But we live in an area that people call the Bible Belt. So there's lots and lots of people that have a very strong Christian faith, and they go to church every Sunday. And if there's something going on in their house that they can't see, and it scares them, the devil. Right? It's easy to go there.
Right,
That's the way you're brought
It's
up.
kind of
and taught.
reflexive almost.
Right, and some of that stuff has been ghost, right? Not demons, right? But it's easy if you've never seen something move across a table that inexplicably moves across a table. That scares shit out of you if you never had that happen before, right? Some people operate differently. So there we are. So we go out. We spent the latter part of 8 or 9 of the 20 years doing that, and in the cost,
20 years?
I'd say 20 to 25 years.
That's awesome.
We didn't clock in. There's no.
No, I'm just
we're
saying
not-
like
No
that.
official
We didn't
records.
really official records, there for the longest time for a while. We kept records of the cases and we kept case files, and we're all and at some point it just came about helping people and keeping a record of that. It's just not that necessary,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Checks out.
So
How many cases would you say you do a year?
the last 2 years, not counted.
Okay.
Very little.
Very
Probably
little.
2 or 3 in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Total, right?
Right.
But there for a while, it was, I'd say, between a dozen and 20
A
for
year? Holy
yeah.
shit.
Oh, yeah, dude. We've been to, I like to make the claim that we've done between 100 and 200 cases, and it could be wrong. It could be northbound of 200.
Yeah.
Again, I quit counting at some point.
Right.
And
Think about it. 10 cases a year over 20 years would be 200. So
yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I'm doing math. What the fuck?
5 or 6 states, 3 countries.
3
Yeah,
countries, yeah. Yeah, you
United-
told us you went over to
Ireland and Scotland. Yep.
Yeah.
And those weren't really cases. That was more of a vacation, and we found some stuff that, you're in Scotland, right? The
Just like a
have got-
Scooby Doo
yeah,
episode.
the ghosts have got to be older, and turns out, and for me, our experience, the paranormal stuff in those countries is different, and those spirits act differently because they're older.
Yeah.
Much more prevalent, and then of course the people, if you will, it's kind of weird. You're in the United States and you ask people, do you believe in ghosts? Well, it's a silly question to most people we ask in Scotland. Do you believe in ghosts? And they're like,
Well, yeah.
I mean, why is that a question?
Right.
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
Because they live in a country that's ancient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So weird things happen.
Hmm.
There we are.
what about you, Jonathan?
Well, I've been doing, I've been more on the spiritual side, more like, for years of my life, whatever. I grew up more in church kind of thing. But I've seen a lot of things there, you know what I mean? Like a lot of things happened to me. And then after getting out and kind of, seeing it on my own, kind of, dabbling in a lot of different things and seeing things and experiences I've had is just like, something you can't explain some things. And it made it more like after I met him, he kind of opened my eyes to seeing things I never saw before.
Right.
So it's different seeing it from both sides kind of thing, So I've dealt with demons before. The D word that you don't want to use, but I've dealt with that because of being from the spiritual side of it. You know,
Right.
seeing that.
More of like an exorcist side of things.
Oh,
than
yeah, yeah.
than more of an exorcism than an investigation perspective.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
on
thing.
that side of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of like it's a different spectrum because you go from here all the way to the ghost side is not not a different, wholly different side that we kind of think
Mhm.
is something deal. So when you deal with that on hand is a total different experience. So getting to see both sides of it, and most especially working with them, like it opened your eyes to a lot of things you didn't know.
Mhm.
You know, what I mean, and then how to deal with things differently. And that those settings and everything. So. And the ghost hunting side I never did until I met him, kind of thing. And seeing it from that view is totally opened my, eyes to a lot of different things I didn't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Seeing it from, working with actual a team that does that. So
Right.
it's pretty, broad spectrum from there to there. So, but it does open your eyes to, to see it from where you see people that actually deals with it professionally,
Right.
kind of thing. So,
Yeah, we've been lucky to meet Mike. The last episode we did, we talk about it on the podcast every once in a while. Like, so, Mike, you say you can sense or see spirits,
Yes,
and
that's my drive in it. Yes.
yeah, like it's kind of like if that's kind of what you have going on, you probably don't want to sit on that, let it be dormant. But he was like, I don't want to alarm you, Matt. Me, it's like there's something right there, and then like drunk Matt, me, I was just like, am I giving it a hand? And then like I was like, do you feel this fucking air? Like
Mhm.
it was like,
it's heavier.
dude,
Cold.
it was so cold. And I was like, oh shit.
Right?
And then we had a flashlight. The episode's called "That's a Fancy Flashlight" because
Yeah.
we had this flashlight that like it was barely off, and apparently if a spirit touched it, it closes the circuit and it
Mhm.
comes on.
Oh, well.
And he had it in his ear and it was off, and then it just kept it come on and come off, come on, and then
And it seemed to be responsive.
yeah,
Some of
yeah,
the
it was
time.
pretty wild.
Some of it was random, but some of it seemed to be responsive.
Yeah, that's the thing about paranormal. If you do this a lot, you start running into that. And there's a lot of consistencies in it. We could get into the story of
Well,
some inconsistencies.
Random
Yeah.
question for you, since
Okay.
you've kind of seen both sides of it, I guess. You always think of like the demonic stuff as
Yeah.
being like really intense, really terrifying.
Mhm.
Would you say that it is that way, or is that more of a perception?
Well,
Or does it kind of depend on the situation?
That's kind of the way that. So when you're taught in church, kind of thing.
Right, because I grew up
in that setting.
I grew up hardcore Southern Baptist.
Yep.
Like
I was
my entire life.
Pentecostal. So
Oh,
we-
yeah.
You
Yeah.
were
everything you.
Fire and brimstone,
and,
both of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
when people come to your church, they already think you got a demon in you, right?
Right.
So it's not like that per se, but we always, if you saw something, it had to be probably bad. You know what I mean? Like it was never the good side of it. You always expected it to be a bad thing.
It's gonna work.
So from seeing it that way, and like I said, being around Neil and seeing things, like he opened my eyes where I wasn't seeing things. I would hear things, or I would feel things.
Got it.
But when the more I was around him, I'm like, why are they showing them through yourself to me now? I didn't see them before. What is
Oh,
the
so
deal
you
with
see
not
things
seeing
too,
it?
yeah?
Oh yeah, I did not see before, but he opened that, like third eye or whatever to actually see it.
Well,
So that was really creepy.
A little
though,
bit of
you know?
training and a little bit of willingness, I think, goes a long way.
It does, but
In
at the
anything.
same time,
Yeah, if you have an open heart about things, you're gonna go pretty far.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
believe that a lot of times with people that's dealing with it can open that though. You know what I mean? To
Mhm.
kind of where you can see that and train you to see
Right.
something that you're actually seeing it now firsthand.
Yeah.
And I would ask him things like, "Oh, am I seeing this, or is it just something I've heard about?" And then that makes me see it, and he's like, "No, I'm hearing everything you're saying. I've already saw." I'm like,
Okay.
oh, well, that opens that door up a lot. So that I never had that before.
Yeah, it's kind of teaching him a little bit because I kind of figured out where he was at. Because, again, it's the experience thing talking. Is, if you just let go of your expectations, whether they're on this side of the fence or the other, right? If you let go of those expectations and find yourself in the middle ground somewhere and open to allow something to be what it is, or allow it to not be what it's not,
Right.
and then you find yourself in a situation where you've opened yourself up to some possibilities, and then when some let's use the word transaction, something takes place in the paranormal stuff, then it allows you that opportunity to really take that in, and you're already in that mindset, so it seems to kind of get you in a way where you can investigate it more and be more efficient, if you will, of sorting out what really went on there and what didn't.
Mhm.
Right?
Well, it's like any kind of science. You have to be able to take your own personal
Correct.
objectivities out of it and just look at the thing for what it is.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
And we've had some strange things. I'm going to bring this up, dude.
Yeah,
And,
go for it.
and
Go.
we have a local place, and I'm not sure I want to say that here because I don't want people to ruin it for us. But it's a very local place, not very far from here at all. 10-minute drive from here, right?
Mhm.
That I have frequent since the late 90s. And I frequent it because it's a weird compilation of things. The compilation of things is one, I used to know somebody that lived on the road where this place is. And then so I drove by there all the time.
Yeah.
And I saw stuff. And then I thought it was just whatever I am that's seeing stuff. And then I start kind of, as those friends hang out, the conversations kind of, not my doing, started talking about that place, and that place is haunted.
Is it a house or is it
It's a graveyard.
a graveyard?
And then this person, one of the people that was our friends at the time, started talking about some stuff that he saw, which is exactly what I was seeing there.
Is it the
I'm
one
like-
that we talked about
Well, I think we
previously?
talked about it because I lived
Did
down.
we? The tall man with the hat. Did we have that
I
don't know,
conversation?
we talked about-
We
well-
talked about a bunch of random
See, I
stuff.
grew up in Latch, and we talked about the cemetery out that way,
Okay.
and I think it's the same one you're talking about now. Yeah.
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 Sorta.
We just say it. I don't think anyone's gonna.
You don't want to ruin
Okay.
it.
You don't want to ruin it.
I don't want to ruin it, but I'm going to trust your audience here.
Don't.
No. Do not.
Probably not. Probably be better
Probably
not.
Okay, so let's get to the point of why I brought it up. The point of why I brought it up is that I've had a ton of experiences, and most of those experiences, this place is either absolutely nothing. Three things go on: either absolutely nothing, or a little for a little while, or what in the shit is going on out here?
Yeah,
tonight,
it's like a paranormal party.
It's crazy, right? To the point where we're running, like one night we were running the ghost radio and we're walking out in a dark cemetery, and you can't read the headstones, and he's like, we get to do something. I know some of these little tricks we've done over the years that to get a ghost to really fuck with somebody and go like, hey, give us a name off a tombstone, and he's kind of like, oh fuck, there's all kinds of names out here. Of course he'd guess that shit if it said anything. Then I'm like, well, let's see if it says anything, and then it said, I forget the fucking name.
It was Snow.
Snow. Yeah, it was like Snow. And he's like, oh, this dude get kind of excited. Okay, Snow. I heard that clear as shit. Let's go find the Snow. Me, as already this has happened to about a dozen times, I kind of have an idea if it's really a spirit, which headstone it is. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very close. Probably the one the box is sitting on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's like, go around and say, hey, before you go anywhere, bro, click. I ain't even read it. I'm like, click, and it says Snow on that.
That's
on that
neat.
stone, right? You know what I mean? And then his ass is like, what are the odds of that? There's
Yeah.
not any, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That box said Snow. We didn't read it. We're friends. You know I'm not full of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't do this, right? That's crazy, you know. And then we have those nights like that where stuff goes on. But then we started having this weird thing where he's with me, and we start experiencing stuff in that cemetery that I've never experienced before, and only experienced it with him there.
Yeah.
So we're asking the question of, he's like, well, dude, what do you do to make this happen to me? And I'm over like, what is it about you that's making this stuff
Right.
go off?
That was
right?
going to be my follow-up. Was like, is your experience vary depending on who you're with?
The fun part
Sometimes,
is the
like,
very clear
Yeah,
lightning
can be.
storm with no clouds whatsoever.
What the fuck? Yeah.
And then
That's
the
cool.
light that I've never seen.
It is
before.
so weird. It is
I have
very
two
weird.
experiences in my life with a ghost light. They're really impressive, and I don't know if I
Yeah.
ever told those on the show or not. But this one is so the back corner of that cemetery, and I know that there is a house through the woods on the other side,
Mhm.
right? And I know that house has a porch light, and I know from all the years of going there that that person who owns that house leaves the porch light on every now and then, and it. Depending on how you looking through the trees, it looks weird. And if you start doing like this, when the trees cut the light, and it
Mhm.
makes the light appear like it's moving, and it's not. It's
Right.
just trick of the eye, right? Not this motherfucker, right? Because it's 30 feet in the trees,
Mm-hmm.
and then it starts moving 6 and 7 feet that way while we're not moving whatsoever. And then you tell it to go away, and it dims off and goes away. Then you tell it to come back, and then it does. Like
Yeah.
right.
Huh.
Was an hour in this,
So
dude? You know, it's
weird.
crazy,
So
right?
weird.
And I'm just like, what's that about? There's never been a light out there before. I've been going in and out of that place for 20 plus years, right? Never seen that before, and have only seen it with him there.
Hmm.
I went back without him there. Doesn't happen.
Hmm.
And that light is bright. That
Yeah.
bright. That light is a porch light bulb lit up, a good 100 water,
Yeah.
30 feet in the trees by itself.
Huh.
Up to the point where he's like, dude, we're going a day tomorrow to see if they put like another light out there. And I'm like, well, why was it moving?
Yeah.
I mean, the E-Tex or Upshur Rule didn't put a light up there that just sways 7 feet both ways. That'd be really unresponsive.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't put it past them, but
I mean, we
It
go out
sounds
there
like a
like,
fire hazard.
yeah,
Yeah.
we go out there and look anyway, and you can't find anything.
But then the first 2 times we went though, do you remember? It like was pulsating, like it was coming, it like was moving
Like
toward
toward us, like coming at
That
us
was
and
kinda
then away from us, and then
And that's only happened twice.
yeah.
then another time we went up there. It wasn't 30 feet up there; it was about 10 or 12 feet up there. And then it really looked like that porch light, and even I was going, "That's that porch light, and it's messing with us, right?" Because I gotta do that.
Yeah.
Here's the other part: this ability, whatever I got, feels nothing when this is going on, right? I sense nothing,
And it's
this,
like-
and this is going on,
Huh.
and
Does that happen often?
yes, not often, but not this incredible.
Yeah.
Never, and then the more that was going on, the more I started sensing stuff over here, behind us, and around us, but not that.
Hmm.
And he's like, dude, what is that? And my answer is, I got no fucking idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What that is. And it's very,
It's
what really haunting for me about it is that I have a really, and it's even more now so a big event for me because it was with my uncle. Me and him were super close, and he died about a year ago. So
Sorry
it's
to
one
hear
of my really good memories with him.
Yeah.
And it's a ghost light in Northeast Louisiana that was interesting because
What part of Northwest?
Oak Grove.
Oak Grove.
Oak Grove.
Yeah. I
Northeast.
got family that have land in like Castor and Sibley and all that. Ringgold.
That's not far.
Yeah, that's what I'm
not
saying,
far
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And
Those are spooky woods, no matter what you're doing.
oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
a road that you get outside you get outside Oak Grove and it goes north and goes straight into Arkansas. And
Yep.
It's a straight road. I had no idea. Uncle takes me out there, and what the cool part about that is that I'd never been out there before and had no idea about any such ghost light. I'd never heard the story before, and the only thing that brought the story up is that we were at my granny lived in Oak Grove. That's his mom, my grandma.
Yeah.
And it's late at night, and we're sitting down. Neither one of us are tired. I mean, he was cool. We're like, Don, is there anything you gonna do? And he was like, it's Oak Grove. I'm gonna go ride around. You wanna go hang out with the punks at Sonic? You
Yeah.
know, and he's an old dude. You know, he's
Yeah.
like, no. And he knows I'm into the ghost stuff, and we've had long conversations about that stuff. And he had some incredible ghost stories that happened to him back in the 50s and 60s
Right.
because he worked a lot off in South Louisiana, off in the middle of nowhere places,
Mhm.
and tugboats and stuff like that, and weird things went on back then.
Mm-hmm.
And but I brought that up to him. He's like, "Well, there's a story of a ghost light." Really? Where's that at? He goes, 15 minutes out. I'm like, does it happen out there? Mm. I'm like, I'm like, well, what else you doing? He goes, I'm getting a car, shit. So that's what we did. Me and him talk to each other like that. I'm getting a car, shit. I'm like, I'm getting a car. And I get up, and I'm like, you fucking going? He's like, I'm getting up. So we go out there, and we're out there 5 minutes, we see it. And it's if I don't tell a story, I'll tell a story, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
And but that light that we saw out there is similar to the one we saw over here.
Yeah.
Right? That one out in Northeast Louisiana was really impressive. Really, me and my uncle talked about it for years. That was shocking to me that it happened the way it happened. Number two, he grew up in that area. So in Oak Grove, Louisiana, him growing up, he was born in 48. So he, in the 50s and 60s, that's shit to do. You know?
Yeah.
So everybody went out there about this legend of the ghost light.
Right.
There's people out there. He's like, dude, I've been out there 100 times or more throughout all my teenage years. I said, you ever see it? No. I said, did you ever have any of your friends see it? Nope. He said, but there were old guys that were credible guys that would tell us that they saw it.
Right.
And then he said, so he was just like, well, we can do that on this show, right? Me and him cussed each other a lot. If you didn't know us, you thought we hated each other the way we spoke. It was really bad.
Yeah.
He'd call up, hey, motherfucker, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We're like, I'm fucking sitting here minding my goodness, that's what I'm
Hey, it's our
doing.
friendship.
You know what I mean? Or he'd call you up, hey, and you'd answer the phone, hello, hey, thought you were dead. I was like, well, I'm trying. He's like, well, you're not trying hard good enough, you failure. Shit. We do that kind of stuff. But we saw that, we talk about it forever because it was just interesting that he'd been out there hundreds of times and had never seen it. And he took my ass out there once, and there it is. Right?
That's cool.
And it was really impressive. And what was weird
What
is...
color is it?
Okay, I'll tell a story. Because that's...
Just tell us.
Yeah, no,
That
sorry.
kind of gives the whole.
So the road, this is going to take a little while. I'm going to try to shorten this story because it's a big story. So the road comes, you go down a series of roads and you come down to, and you take a left on the road where the light is, and the road is straight for about a quarter mile, and then there's the infamous 20-mile-an-hour left-hand turn, and it is literally a 90 in the road. It's crazy. And you make that 90, you go ahead about 30 yards or so, and at the time, I've been out there recently, and they've changed the corner, and the bridge is different, but there was like a wooden, pretty sturdy wooden narrow bridge on that road, and just adjacent that corner is the biggest damn oak tree ever, and all the bark's knocked off of it. Drunk people running off the road hitting that tree, because that corner is in a way that if you miss it, you catch it in the tree.
Hell yeah.
And so I'll start with the legend that my uncle was told, and then I have other family members that I asked away from him, and the legend was the same. Little variances in it, and you can just tell it's word of mouth.
Yeah.
The legend is that, bear no truth to this legend. The legend is, whether it's true or not, I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
That road was a railroad. I mean, they took the railroad up, they paved it because it's a nice piece straight of raised ground.
It's already
Like a
there.
road.
Already there. Might as
It's
well
already
use
there. Pave it up. We got
Yeah.
a road now to Arkansas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That back in the Civil War, that it was a supply route that the Confederates used because of where it was at. This part I don't buy, right? Because of where it was at, they could move stuff around, and the Yanks didn't know it was there. And here comes the story that I've heard so many other places. So what they would do to keep from something happening is they had this little cart, you know, the part with the two pumps both ends. You see what I do? I had this little cart, and they would stick a guy on that cart. The legend is it was an older black man. Why that is, I have no idea. Why that needs to be expressed, I have no idea. Okay. And then they would send him that cart with a lantern by himself down there. And if the Yankees were going to ambush the supply route, they just get him.
Yeah.
Right? And he would go all the way down there and come all the way back. And everything's cool. Then they would send the train down or whatever it is they sent down. Well, the legend is that at some point he heard something, saw something, whatever it was, or he walked it. That's the one I heard. The cart was one. The other one I heard that he had to walk it because the cart was messed up, whatever it may have been. And he got his foot stuck, and they sent something down there, and somehow he died. He got run over by his own cart was one of the legends. They run him over was another legend.
Right.
Or another part of the legend was possibly the Yanks got him. Either way, he died down there, and that's so it has to fit the story of why there's a light. Right. It's the man with the lantern. And if the story is if you go down there and you park any part on the road whatsoever in the middle of the night, you'll see the light, and it's him with the lantern. And what he's trying to do is steer you from being off the road because he doesn't want you to get hurt either.
He doesn't want a friend.
Then it added that if you chase him, he'll run away. If you run from him, he'll chase you. And like, okay, so here's what we did. My uncle drives out there. I'm in the passenger seat. This is probably 1995 or 6, maybe 97 when this. No, I was still in high school, so it was definitely off. It's before 97. And so we're out there, and my uncle says, we're going to do this by the legend. We're going to go over the bridge. Oh, yeah, it won't cross the bridge. If you're running away from it, you won't cross the bridge. There have been so many, we get told, there have been so many people that were going too fast, run away from that light, and missed the curve and hit the tree. They weren't drunk. They were running from the ghost light. Cool. All right. So he goes, we'll go out here. We're going to cross over the bridge. We'll go down a little bit. We'll pull off the road and kind of leave a quarter of the car on the road. And we'll just sit here. I don't know if you guys have ever been in Louisiana at night.
It's
With
nothing.
no moon.
Yeah.
You don't see each
can't
other
see.
at all.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Nothing. You can't. Nothing. You can't put your hands right in your face. Nothing. It was that dark that night. And so we pull over, kill the car, and that little green clock on the 92 Cadillac that was on the radio. Oh, man. It was like,
It's like looking at the sun.
Yeah. I was like, this thing sucks. And after a while, I'd go off. And so we're sitting there. It's about, I don't know, dude, 10 minutes or so, and we see one single light way down the road. I'm like,
Hell yeah.
cool. I was like, it dawned on me that, you know? He's like, and so we're just staring at it.
Just old school dudes be like,
yeah,
God
just that
damn
way.
it.
Yeah. Like, there could be a car coming this way.
A motorcycle.
Something.
Yeah.
Moped.
And he's like, could be. I was like, well, we'll have to figure that out. He goes, we'll sit here and wait. So much get here. I'm like, fair enough. You know what I mean? And sure enough, a few minutes later, motorcycle.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, damn. There's that. You know, and so we sit about 10 or 15 more minutes, and another light. Hey, look, another motorcycle, right? So we're just sitting there, 10 or 15 minutes.
Just
They
there.
never got there. Well, that's weird. I'm like, down that light still hadn't moved. He goes, damn sure hadn't. Porch light? He goes, no. I'm like, well, that was a quick no. You know what I mean? He goes, that's not a porch light. Why the fuck you know that? You know, and he goes, because there ain't no houses down there.
Yeah.
When was the last time you've been down there? He goes, oh, I've been down there in 20 years. And I'm like, why the hell you know it's not a light? He said, you see these cotton fields on both sides of the road? And he goes, that belongs to the Snow family. I'm like, okay. That far away, they still own that much.
Yeah.
There ain't gonna be no house there. Never has been.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, now if you want to drive your happy ass down there, we can. I'm like, okay, all right. I said, don't turn the headlights on, because I tell you, don't turn the headlights on if you're gonna chase it. He goes, so we turn the parking lights on, which are like headlights at this point, and I pull up on the road and kind of ease on to go down there, go see what this is about. And that light moved across the road, and then went back across the road, and then kind of dipped and kind of sparkled out.
Yeah.
I hit the brakes. I looked at him. He looked at me and go, so which one was it going to say it? He goes, well, I'll say it. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, what is that? Yeah. So what did that? He goes, well, they said it'd chase you, but it went away. We'll see if it chases, you know? So we moved a little further, found a little spot where we could kind of get turned around in the road. We got turned around the road. And at that point, somebody reminded me, hey, we brought that camcorder. Now, we had the old big-ass camcorder. You put the full-size VHS tape in.
Yeah.
And we had the good one that had a little screen you could poke out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I shoved that in there, had that on, turned it on, opened the deal up, popped the cover off. And this is important to remember. If the cover was on, then there would be nothing on the screen. Right?
Mhm.
If you're recording, it always had the red light. Right? This is important to the story because that's what happened. And so I got the camcorder. I'm turning around and looking at the back glass, right? So like, see what happens. And I watched it with the record going on to do the exact reverse of what it did.
Mm-hmm.
It like came into fruition. You know, it just sparkled itself into a light. It came back on the middle of the road, and then you could almost see it start at us. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I was in the back seat going, Don, you gotta look in your mirror at this shit. You know, he's like, I'll be damned. Where'd that come from? Dude, it just sparkled itself into non-existence to existence. What is this?
Came from the same place it went away at.
And then it started after us, man. And then it started doing this like snake kind of shit in the road. Right. Now I left out the part where we turned around and went back after it and it dissipated again.
Yeah.
We did that like 2 or 3 times. But this time come back and then Don was running about 50 miles an hour or so back down the road. We didn't win miles down the road doing this shit. About 50 miles an hour back down the road. And this thing got close enough to the car that I could look out the back glass. It was one of those small front-wheel drive Cadillacs, right? 2-door car.
Mm-hmm.
You could look out the back glass and see it illuminating the back deck lid, and you could see the shine off the chrome bumper back there.
Yeah.
Right? It's 4 feet or so away from it. And it's about 3.5, 4 foot off the ground. And it's a globe probably about this big.
What's it look like? Is it just...
It looked like a planet. It had all these mixtures of colors, and it looked like clouds circling in a clockwise fashion.
Yeah.
And the center part on the ground below it was black, and it had like a ring where it was reflecting off the pavement.
Yeah.
Right. The other part of the story I forgot is that they tell you that it will come up on top of the car and come in a car you and do all kinds of crazy things, which it did not to us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It had every opportunity to do that, and it did not. It never got more than 4 feet from the car.
Right.
And I am filming the entire thing. And during this process, it's just pretty wild. It was moving around. The closer it got to the car, the less snaky stuff that it did.
Right.
Now, the other part of the legend is that if you make it to the bridge, it will never cross the bridge. We'll do it.
Yeah.
And so Don goes, hey, I got to slow down. Here's the bridge. All right, cool, man. You know what I mean? We're both tripping about this. I mean, we're really ecstatic about what's going on here. And make it across the bridge. And as we crossed the bridge, it came up on the bridge just as fast as we were going and stopped.
Yeah.
And it did this sort of kind of hovering about like 14 to 16 inches up and down, up and down, and up and down. Now, when you go across that bridge, you go around that corner, and then that road goes about a quarter mile and it tees into another road that's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's open cotton field, so you can just look across, right? And we're looking across as we're still driving away at that light over there, several hundreds of yards away from us, still floating there.
Yeah.
And what made this trippy is that we came to that stop sign and there was some headlights coming down the road. So we come to that stop sign and the car's coming this way and it turns its blinker on. And I'll never forget my uncle going, goes, "We're going to find out how fucking crazy we are." He said that. And never forget it. 93, 94, yellow Ranger splash step side. Never forget it, right?
Powerful
He
truck.
took a left in front of us, went down, and we just sat at that stop sign. He done put the car in park and we're both looking. And we see the light over there,
Yeah.
right? We're like, and I was
He
like,
sees it too.
I was like, let's go see if he sees it. And he goes, my uncle, he goes, "This motherfucker's gonna be in for a surprise, dude."
Yeah.
And he goes down that road, he comes around the corner, and you see all brake lights and the front end nosedive. And his headlights shined at it, but we both saw it, but around it. Like it
Deflected. the
it
light.
deflected,
Yeah.
like it's solid substance. Whatever that is has mass.
Huh.
We talked about this shit for a long time, that it deflected light. So it's not some apparition. That was something solid
Right.
that was there doing that to light. And he stopped. It could have been 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds, and you see the reverse lights come on. Now, dude, that road is like, it's ditched on both sides, but it's like a 40-something degree angle down, and it's 4 or 5 feet down there.
Yeah, yeah.
You see his ass throw in reverse, headlights straight up in the air where he backed his ass down in that ditch.
Get the
And you see
fuck
the
out
reverse
of
lights
there.
coming on, that old Ranger getting squirrely in the dirt and
And
coming
I'm
out.
getting the fuck out of here.
He's like, "I
yeah.
get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
And Don goes, "Let's leave, move."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He
no
may
shit.
not stop at the stop
No,
sign.
maybe
Yeah.
not. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So we puts it in drive and takes a right. And we turn and go over, and that Ranger come up. He's like, "If that dude comes this way, we're gonna flag him down. You know he sees us, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a conversation." He went left.
Ah.
We never spoke to the guy, right?
I love to live in a world like this guy he's somewhere in Oak Grove or South, and he's like, "You won't believe this shit. Back in 1996,
Yeah.
I was driving down this road, and there's a fucking golden ball right in front of me."
There's this little blue fucking Cadillac sitting there. I wonder if they're like fucking with me. I don't know.
Right.
And though the story gets better, so it
Yeah.
never occurred to me whatsoever that if you come, again, you're going away from the light, you go across the bridge, and then the road takes a 90-degree corner, right? 90-degree corner, there's a house after that road straightens out, sits right there, right? My aunt is married to a guy, his name was Frank Edwin. He's the nicest, honest old guy in the whole wide world. He lives there, and it just didn't occur to me for years
Yeah.
that he lives right there, right? And just for some reason, me and my Uncle Don were talking about this stuff 12, 15 years later. Right?
Yeah.
Talking about it one day, and I was like, "Man, it's kind of weird, nobody else like us ever seen the light." And he goes, "I just wonder if Frank Edwin's ever seen it." What's Frank Edwin got to do with anything?
Oh, he
He's like-
lives.
He's like,
Well, he's the
He-
next
he
door
looks at me
neighbor.
and goes,
Said
"I'm
like,
talking about your Uncle Frankie,
Yeah.
my sister's husband." That I'm like, "Yeah, I know who Frank Edwin is."
"Well,
"What are
look
you
at
talking
that house."
about?" He goes, "Where does Frank Edwin live?" I'm like, "He lives over." Holy shit!
Yeah.
It just never hit
Mhm.
me. And like, "Hey, next time we go over there," and then I was like, that's like next weekend, because it didn't hit him either. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So next weekend we drove our ass. He lives in Dayton, Texas. I live in Gilmer at this point, right? He
Right.
comes up, gets me, and we go to Oak Grove, Louisiana, and go to Frank Edwin's house. We call him on the way, and we get there. Frank Edwin is there, and Frank Edwin's an old man at this point.
Yeah.
And he bought that house in the 50s, I think.
Wow.
Well,
And he's lived there 50 years. He's had to see it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
if he doesn't, that's just weird to us. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So we pull up, we shoot the corn a little bit with Frank Edwin. You just kind of catch up, not just go straight to this bullshit. And he invites us out like he always does. So his house obviously sits, but he has a big old open garage. So it's like a big carport, and it's attached to the house. And it's
Right.
like 30 feet deep, 20 feet deep. It's serious. And it's part of the house. Well, he likes to go out there and sit. He's got chairs over the corner. It's a big thing for him. He likes to go out there and just sit in the carport
Yeah.
and eat pecans. He's always got a big ass, like 30-pound sack of pecans.
Average
always sitting
old
there.
man in the
And
South.
he's just doing his
Yeah.
shit. And he's like, I won't come out and eat pecans, drink tea, and talk. Yeah, I do. So we go out there and sit. For me, it was kind of cool to catch up Frank Evan. But anyway, at some point, I just break the ice. I said, Frank Evan, there's a reason why we're here. He goes, well, I didn't figure your asses just drove over here just to drink sweet tea and eat pecans. You could have done that in Texas.
Yeah.
He ain't stupid. He goes, what are y'all here for? There's a ghost light down that road. He goes, yeah, what about it?
Mm.
And I was like,
oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's just like, yeah, what about it? You know the store? Yeah, I know the store. I said, you ever see it? He goes, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time? All the time. I'm like, so you see it come up to that bridge? He's like, who told you that? I'm like, well, the story is that it stops the bridge and he goes, okay, so y'all saw it, so we told him the story. Right? He goes, oh. Well, that's confusing. I'm like, why is that? It stopped at the bridge. I'm like, so you telling us that it don't always stop at the bridge? He goes, hell no, it comes in the yard and dances around, goes around the house and shit. I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah. I said, you ever said I watch it? No.
Fuck that,
I want
dude.
no part
No
of this.
fucking reason.
Yeah.
He goes, and you had to, it's northeast Louisiana country bumpkin.
Yeah, yeah.
He goes, that's something that's come around here. I'll go to the house.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what's the closest you ever got to it? He goes, well, it happened probably 2 or 3 years ago. I was like, well, when's the last time you seen it? Last Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I said, so give me kind of what it does. He goes, oh, hell, the damn thing would come down the road and it'd come off. And sometimes it goes in the pasture across the street from me. Sometimes it'll go and just keep going on the road where the curve comes. It just doesn't care about no road. It'll dance through the trees and go out way over there somewhere and disappear somewhere. He said, the most impressive one where I was sitting out here, he goes, I couldn't sleep. So I got up. And then he paused. He goes, my bladder's real small.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I got it.
Checks out.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
He goes, I got it and peed. And then I went, oh, I'm going to go outside and sit. And Frank Evan was notorious for going out in the middle of the night and just sit. He liked to sit out at night. And he goes, I go out there and sit. He goes, that some bitch ruined it. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I come out there and sit down. I grab me pecan, open up pecan. And I thought I saw something. I look over there and there's that damn light coming down the road. And he goes, and then it come off the edge of the road and it dipped down in the ditch. And I was like, oh, it's going to go through the trees. It's done that shit 100 times. He goes, I didn't more say that and it stopped. And I went, oh, shit. It hurt me. That's what he said. He goes, oh, shit, it hurt me. You know? And he said, and then it turned. He said, it started coming my way. I went, hey. You know, he said, he talked to it. Hey, hey, hey.
Just every old, hey. Yeah.
And I said, well, did it listen? He goes, hell no, I didn't listen. And I went, all right. And he said,
Sure,
here
it's
it
not a
comes.
Jehovah's Witness.
He said, I got up and I went over to the door and he goes, and I got more curious than I should. He said, but I'd opened the screen door up and I had the door of the house open. And it came up to the carport and just enough where it just illuminated all the way in the carport like this soft white light bulb is what he said. And it just kind of about 4 foot off the ground. I was like, that's weird because that's about how far it's off the ground to us.
That's wild.
And he goes, you're kind of weird, man. It had like, he said it kind of like moved like clouds inside of it. I'm like, motherfucker, it's the same thing, you know? I'm like, damn, Frank Evan, that's exactly what we saw. And he's like, yeah. And then it started to kind of come in the carport and I went in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
He said, I shut the door.
It comes to the carport. It'll
I was
come in
like,
the house, though.
I said,
I'll get under the sheets.
that's funny. I brought that up. I said, what makes you think, Frank Edwin, that it won't come in the house? He goes, I don't need you telling me that shit.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He goes, I don't need you telling me that shit. He goes, you know something I don't? I'm like, no.
Just asking questions.
I
Just
said,
asking
come in the carport, going where it wants to. Why not in the house? He goes, well, I'm just assuming that
Respects the
house is
sanctity
same
of a home.
place.
Yeah.
He goes, I ain't going to its damn house. So, I mean, it ain't going to come into mine.
It's not
I'm like,
flawed logic.
You know,
No.
I get it.
I don't
I
fuck
said-
with it. Why would it fuck with
Yeah,
me?
I said, so you trust it? He goes, no, I went and got my 22 and I sat on the couch.
Yeah.
And I eventually went to sleep with my old rifle, you know what I mean? He said, it never come in the house. It never has. He goes, I've lived here 50 years. It's never done it.
Yeah.
And he goes, I just assume that it has enough respect or maybe Jesus got something to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, he goes, I don't know, but it never has. And
Or that house wasn't there when it was conceived.
I said, Frank Evan, if I may ask you a question. He's like, no, ask
Conceived is a
away.
weird word.
That was yeah.
I said, he goes, ask away. I said,
Ghost sex.
I said, what do you, if you had to guess, Frank Evan, you've been here the longest, you've probably seen it more than any other person alive, right? He goes, well, that's fair. I said, if you had to guess, any idea what it is? He went, this is the right amount of pause too. He went, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I was like, no idea, no guess whatsoever. He goes, I have one. It's a ball of light.
Yeah.
It just dances his ass and does what it wants
It's a
to.
respectable
And he
answer.
goes, and will continue to do whatever the hell it wants to because I ain't going to stop it. I said,
That's crazy.
you ever thought about it to come to the carport, maybe shoot at it or something? He goes, are you fucking stupid?
Mm,
He goes, if it has feelings,
I don't want to hurt
I ain't
him.
doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, I ain't doing it. He goes, it ain't coming to the house. I ain't giving it a reason.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes sense. And he goes, anyway, we'll stop talking about that. When he does that,
You're done,
Frank, yeah, you're done. Frank Evan will
Not
talk to you
talking
about it no
anymore.
more. Right.
It sounds like every uncle and grandpa I've ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good SOL dude, but he just tell you, just this is the way it is. You know what I mean? And he's, he passed away years ago, and his daughter, inherited the house, and I saw her not too long ago, and then we talked for a little bit, and I brought it up in text one day. I said, hey, I gotta ask you something really weird. She is super religious, so I didn't think this was gonna go very far.
Yeah.
And I said, you ever seen a strange light out in your yard? And she goes, oh my God, Frank Edwin tell you about that? I'm like, no, I saw it. She goes, okay, why don't you keep that to yourself? Just quit talking about it.
Which means she's seen it,
Yeah,
but she doesn't want to talk
absolutely.
about it. Yeah.
So so like what was it, last November they were seeing the drones, but some of the drones look like cloudy balls, like
Yeah.
orbs is what they called it. I know there's the Marfa lights.
I've heard of those. I want to go see those.
Yeah.
See what that's about.
It's just a long fucking way out.
There's another place in Missouri that has some kind of ghost light. You drive down the road and you can see it off in the distance. That's cool, man. That's cool. And maybe we have
That's a
one.
really, really interesting thing. We've been out there 2 or 3 times since. Let's see that.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever seen it.
You know, you brought that up though. You said on both sides of the road that people that own that land, it snows.
That's
Well,
the
that
same
is weird.
name as
Yeah.
the-
I heard that earlier. I was like,
That's
yo,
weird, yeah.
that's a
So
weird
I've
word.
never put that 2 and 2 together until you told that story, and I'm like, oh,
That is wild.
I want to be those people that own both sides of the road for like 12
Yeah.
miles.
Yeah.
Jesus, their tax bill's got to be stupid.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I've thought
That's
about
true.
that.
That's true.
He said they've owned that land for as long as anybody's been there.
That's why I've been family land for generations.
Oh yeah, I mean, and
It's all plantation land.
it probably is.
Yeah.
And that's probably true. And
The
no,
cotton
my
palm
uncle
pays
Don
for
said
itself
that ever
first,
since
so.
he said I was born in '48 and it was an old cotton place then.
Wow.
And I talked about Frank Evan. He goes, yeah, that property lines. We were talking to him. He goes, yeah, the snow property line goes to right there. I was like, how long own that place? He goes, oh God, Jesus, maybe. That's what he said. He said, I don't really know. He said over 100.
Long,
over
long
100
enough
years.
to where it doesn't matter.
Over 100
Yeah.
years.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's there. And then we see this light out there, and it just, I can't help but look at that light that we saw, and it just kind of flashbacks. You
Yeah.
know, you're like, that's
Was it-
crazy?
Was it similar in appearance or just behavior? Or both or neither?
It was like a mini me version of it.
Okay.
This one out here. You know what I mean? Now
Obviously, it
didn't,
never got as close as.
Yeah, I mean,
the
it
other
didn't chase us because we didn't
No.
ask it to. And there's
Yeah.
we don't have a preset legend about it either.
Right.
Because I've often, and me and Wife's talked about this, I've done this for years, and we've often had this theory that we wonder that if something, whatever's the driving force in that light,
Mhm.
we wonder if it doesn't just take on the story, right?
Like, here's what you're thinking or saying, and they're just like, yeah, okay.
Well, there's old legends in Scotland about the fairy folk, right?
Mhm.
And that there's legends of that, this and that, and those legends came to pass after a certain amount of time, and there they are, and then everybody now believes that. So let's say for a second that you believe in spirits, and let's say for a second you believe that they're sentient to some degree,
Mhm.
and that they think and they hear and they speak when they want to. It's just like us, which you can't see them, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be a few assholes. Holy shit! Let's go fucking bright somebody up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's what.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's just assume that also that all spirits that inhabit the paranormal world are dead people, because they're not. And so there's things that have just been here that we don't necessarily have an explanation for. And I've run into things like that, right?
What does that mean? You just.
I'm going to
You
use
can
the
tell,
term
or just-
earthbound spirits. They're not human.
It's like interdimensional being kind of.
No, I think they're just here.
Okay.
I think they're just what you said might be some truth to it. And again, like I said, I've said this 100 times. I think I know more about the spirit stuff than most everybody I meet. But if the book's 10 inches thick, I know about a quarter inch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know shit. You know what I mean? but I've run into some things, and things have communicated me with a certain way, and they're definitely not human, and they're definitely not evil,
Mm-hmm.
and they're definitely not angels. They've definitely been here a long time, and they're definitely wise and know a bunch of things and can tell you what you're thinking
Mhm.
while you're thinking it. And but they're not. They don't give me any presence or any feeling of harm.
You
Right?
kind of get back to like the old Native American earth spirits, the things that are just like
Part
you
of
know,
the culture.
guides and
Well,
Good that you bring that up because well, they weren't liars. They were doing something. You know,
They had no
I
reason
felt
to
like they
lie.
were experiencing something
Right.
that may be the same thing that I just run into, and
Yeah.
they just put some name to it, and I just don't
well,
want to
that's,
put a name
and
to
that's
it.
not just Native American. That's every ancient culture
Yeah.
across the globe.
But you know, bringing that up too, though, with that same lightning storm we had or whatever.
That's weird.
When we went to other places, that lightning storm happened. One time there was actually
Yes.
rain, but there was one time, if you remember that one place, and he brought up the what's it called, the Indian spirit or whatever. That kind of happened there. If you remember where we were talking about,
Yes.
and this is weird. There's no reason for it. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
not heat lightning, nothing like that. It's just lightning. You know,
Got a cloud in the sky. It's
no,
pretty.
there's no reason.
Moon's
Nothing in the
bright.
forecast. Nothing.
No.
No,
Not
dude.
at all.
And we're just pretty. The moon's bright. We're like, man, the sky's just awesome
It's
tonight.
just energy
And
discharge.
the-
is all
and the-
lightning is.
And-
Yeah.
Scientifically
it's-
speaking,
but
that's all-
with this
that's
being
what I'm saying
said-
though. Like
That's why
energy
lightning.
is energy, regardless of what the source
Right,
is or
yeah.
where it's coming from.
Just huge lightning strikes go across the entire face of every sky that we can see. You know, like,
Yeah.
holy shit, what was that? And we go, oh, it's heat lightning. It ain't fucking hot.
What's
here.
weird though is
You know what I mean? You're like,
because
what's going on here?
it can be at any time too, because it's like where you're not feeling a bad spirit per
Right.
se. You know what I mean? You're just you're just there. And when we were there at that place, you felt some it was pretty evil. I mean, he's seeing things over my over my shoulder, and at that point I was not seeing things. But he's seeing something over my shoulder. I felt it, but I just didn't see it.
Yeah, that's kind of my.
So that brought me to.
So when something like that happened, who is it worse for? The person that can see it and can't tell their friend, "Hey, you're about to get fucked," or you that can feel it and doesn't know what it is?
Perspective.
It's both sides.
That's what I'm
of that.
saying, though. I
It's
feel
pretty
like-
scary.
So
The guy
like,
that, I don't, yeah.
in this scenario, I'd be like, "I can't help you right now, but
But you're about to
sorry."
be fucked.
Yeah.
And
Or
there's
you
me.
being like, "I know, I can,
I know, I'm about to be
can't do
fucked."
anything." Yeah.
So the question would be: is it safer to be ignorant or aware?
Situationally, maybe no, maybe neither.
Right.
That's why you just take him with you so he can be your eyes. That's what
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, okay, I'm feeling this. And he'd
I
be
mean,
like,
on the my end, when he said, "Hey, not to alarm you," like on the podcast, he's like,
Yeah,
"Not to
yeah.
alarm you, but there's a spirit like hanging out right beside you," and I was like, "Huh." Like it was just one of those. I didn't like it.
No,
I mean,
but your dumbass wanted to tickle it.
Yeah, I did. I got you. I don't know.
it's kind of fun though whenever we've done EVPs. Just bringing up one if you remember what I'm talking about.
No, just tell it where it is, dude.
Okay, so
I got so many fucking stories. They're all
which
the
one do you
same.
want me to tell? Because there's a couple we can hit on that was pretty. I mean,
I've been
I can
cussed
think
out
of
by
one that
spirits
creeps
and-
me out more than anything.
Tell it.
If you remember.
They don't give.
We
a
had
shit.
EVPs on the podcast we did with you.
Yep. Some of them were live, weren't they? Did y'all record? Y'all go back over any of that audio? You found shit? Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
went.
remember y'all
well,
found shit.
So
yeah.
I put in both earbuds, and I was working in the office that day. I wasn't like welding or grinding, and I was like working. And the first podcast we did,
Oh, y'all sent me some shit. I went
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the first podcast we did, Travis. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Like, no, you're good.
Travis was like, "Hey, there's EVP," but it was me being stupid. And I was
Yeah,
like,
we
"No,
did
no,
that
no,
one.
that's just me being dumb." But the second one, I was like, "I wonder." So I was like listening and like in the background, and I knew the situation. I was like, "There's something here," and I wrote down like time signatures. It's somewhere in our messages, but like,
I remember it being pretty faint, and we got to the point where not to belittle or turn your EVP down, or I don't want to do that.
I just felt like a ghost investigator. I was
But-
really proud of myself.
It's fun.
With
But-
zero credibility.
With
when you
zero
get those-
credibility.
When you get those Class A's, like the one that I think I mentioned that, and we'll let you go back to it, was at Windsor Ruin. Windsor Ruin is just south. It's a old plantation home, a huge one that burned before they ever moved in it.
Mhm.
And it was like 5 stories, 80,000 feet with an observatory, and the columns are still there. And we go out there to see everything's going on, right? And one of the EVPs that we did catch, that's a stark difference to the one you caught, is we always got to take these little safeguards. Like I was notorious at the time of leaving the keys in the truck, so I don't care, right? I don't want to have. To
Oh,
keep
you
them in
talked
my-
about this one.
Yeah, and then. And I said, hey, you want to get the keys out of the church in case some spirit locks the door and we're stuck out in the middle of ass nowhere. You know, she's like, that's a good idea. She goes there, opens the door. You can hear her lean in and jiggle the key and pull the key out of the deal. When a very clear voice goes, please don't go.
Yeah.
And that's not her.
Well, like
you know what I mean?
The stuff that we had was audible noise that was not part of what we were doing.
Right.
That, you know, you could paradoxically find a pattern in there and to say it was a voice that said something, but even it didn't matter how many times I tried to clean it up with any of the software that I used for editing the podcast or slow it down or speed it up. There was never anything clearly spoken, but there was audibly something
That wasn't us.
on the recording that wasn't something that we heard while we were doing what we were doing.
Right.
Yeah, because we would have probably picked that off. I mean, we all make noises like this chair moving
Yeah.
or whatever that we don't cue in our
Well,
head
like-
because they're normal to us. Is
Right.
what we do.
When we do podcasts with other people, there's a lot of times I whisper to him, try to make him laugh. It's just, you know, our
Yep, you do
friendship.
that. Yep.
And then that's what happened.
The one we did here,
Yeah.
but the ones that we got that we're talking about now are the ones that happened when we were.
We like you
Absolutely
and I
right.
were locked in on something, and Dee Dee just got done talking, and then there was like a brief couple seconds, and then there were like it was just noise, like it was like a,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, ah,
Sounds
Yeah,
like-
dude. And they do that all the time. And you know, there's these paranormal investigators that are the professionals in it that class these into A, B, and C class EVPs. You know, C's
right.
some things there that you can't explain, but you can't really make it out. B is something that you had to modify to hear.
Yeah.
It. Then there's the class A's, like I said, Windsor and that was just
Clear as day.
that's just somebody.
Like somebody
talking,
got the mic and
right?
said, "Hi."
Yeah.
She
that's
said,
what
please don't
happens
leave.
on
That's
this
what it
one.
was. And it sounded like a 8 or 9 or 10-year-old female, if I
Mhm.
would, right? And just literally, and it was like up on the microphone too. Please don't leave.
Right.
It was just like, oh, that's nice in horror movies. You know what I mean?
But the true like telltale version of it is like you don't hear it in the moment.
No,
you don't
she
know
kept
until
getting
like
the keys.
Right.
way back, like after the fact.
Mhm.
Because the little side stuff that you know, you
Because
know,
if you hear that shit while you're there, you know, like
Oh,
you're
she
reacting
would've-
to that.
oh, she'd have
Very
shit the
much.
bed, dude.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Because she's, if you think about it from a psychological standpoint, she's opened the door of the truck.
Yeah.
She's walked 50 yards.
She's by herself.
She's by herself in the dark. She's opened the door of the truck. She's leaned over. You hear her body squishing on the upholstery of the seat.
Right.
So she's leaned in the truck and she's fumbling with the keys. She's like, ah, fuck. You know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
like, because she's pressing on her abdomen. So
Yeah.
she's, you
So
know,
she's
trying
reaching
to-
through the passenger side, trying to get
But
to
she's
the steering
driver's
wheel.
side. No,
Oh,
she's
so
driver's
you're
side.
right. Okay.
And because she's 5'1", she's in full size truck.
Yeah.
So she's having to lean over.
It's-
She's
there's
like,
effort involved.
And she's getting the keys, and you hear the keys jiggle. And then when you hear the key come out of the actual ignition switch, it does this little click, right?
Yeah.
And as that click
You can
happens,
hear the
is-
tumblers move and the little pop. Yeah.
yeah, you hear the click. And as you hear the click is when that voice goes off, right? And had she heard that voice,
She'd
Well,
have been in
imagine-
that truck gone.
something would have transpired.
Yeah.
Except for
Nothing.
nothing
Right.
Yeah.
transpired. She just continued getting the keys as if that voice
Never happened.
Yeah.
never happened. But there it is imprinted on the
Yeah.
device. Right.
Happy.
Jonathan, we interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good. So no, we were at this cemetery
He's not
again.
sorry. He'll tell you he's sorry, but he's not.
This is kind of where I started seeing things. Actually, it was one of my first nights of actually seeing something.
Without him?
No, I was with him.
You were
Yeah,
with
we
him.
were there. And
Got me exclusive.
oh, there you go.
Yeah. You can put that in your throat and hear your tummy gurgle.
So, but we were out there that night, and just like I said, first time actually seeing things. I was sitting on the edge of a tombstone, and it just kind of, it was weird because my eyes finally adjusted. Because when you get out there,
Mhm.
you know, you kind of got to adjust your eyes a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
before you start seeing anything. And we've been out there maybe 15 minutes. You know, my eyes started adjusting, and there was a little bit of light from the moon to where you could see, all the shadows from the other tombstones.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting there, and then Mike's on this side of me, and I saw 1, 2, 3, like 4 people sitting on the same tombstone, and I'm like, I can see me, I can see you. Why is there 2 other people there? Where is these people? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, what if I get up and walk off and see if they're still sitting there? And it was still 4 people sitting there. I'm like, my shadow's over here now. Why is there still 4 people sitting there? You know.
Yeah.
So that's when I started seeing things. Well, I asked him. I said, "You ever done EVPs on here? So let's try it. You know, whatever." So I have this one on my phone. Nothing, nothing too big to talk about. But we cut it on, and it was funny because he always asks who's out here. You know who we are, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it always says Mike's name, like it just knows Mike.
Yeah, they do that. I don't know
It's
why
the
they
weirdest
do that
thing
a
ever.
lot.
This is like my second and third time being there, so I'm like, why is it know my name? I was like, hold on a second. You know him, but why you know me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it said my name, great, just plain as day. And then we started asking the questions.
I'm gonna need you to start complete. I'm just kidding.
So no, I was telling him that I'd seen him in shadows before. That's when I started first seeing things, and I went out there with him. This is our second or third time going out there. And so anyway, we're doing this EVP, and then for some reason, we asked it, it kept saying Dee Dee's name. Like,
Oh,
what
I
the
know
hell
which one
is
you're talking
this,
about now. This is cool.
And it's
Yeah.
like Dee Dee, and I said, why
you
are you
fight a
saying
ghost,
Dee Dee?
Mike?
She's not here.
No, you can't fight a ghost.
Someone's hollering at my girl,
But you
dude. We
can-
gotta get these
Oh,
fucking
right,
hands
yeah.
moving, dude.
You
catch
can
some
put on
hands.
your happy face though.
So,
It's a rock fact, dude.
Mm-hmm.
so he tried doing that. Like, if he started talking to it too, he said, hey, what are you talking about Dee Dee? Like, why is this coming about?
Dee Dee's not there.
No, not
She's
at all.
not present.
Dee Dee's
She-
your wife, correct?
And
Yeah,
so-
so
Yes,
she
that's
stayed
right.
home.
And this is
So
a
I'm
weird-
like, I'll let you go right back to it, but I know that they're doing that for a reason, right?
Riled you
So
up.
now, well, I don't know what the reason is, but they're doing that for a reason, and he's trying to have an experience. I'm like, well, this is a perfect opportunity. Now let's dive into why, right? So see what it says to us.
Okay, so and then during this time, a friend of mine was coming over there too. Like, she was going to show up in the midst of this. So we stopped kind of talking to her for a minute. She comes up and goes over there. And they kept saying Dee Dee again. I'm like, what is going on? Why are you talking to Dee Dee? We're out here. Why are you talking to her? And so I asked, I said, who else is here? And they said her name, the girl that came out there. And then she asked asked a question, and then it said his dog's name. It was like, why is it?
Well,
He first said dog, didn't it say like
yeah,
dog
to
first?
get more, it's like, so to get more detailed, it was like, so you're talking about Dee Dee. What about Dee Dee?
Mhm.
And it said Dee Dee again. I'm like, okay, well then where's Dee Dee at? Home. I'm like,
And you're audibly hearing this.
yes, oh, live
Oh,
on the.
perfect.
Okay.
Can you-
Ghost
Y'all heard the
radio.
ghost radio
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
where you
yeah.
cut the antenna and it just
Yeah.
runs. That's what we're running.
Okay.
And it says home, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run with this dude because we've had this happen before. And it said home. I'm like, okay, well if she's home, who's she home with? Dog. Oh well, then what's his name? Kratos, which is our little pitty. That's his name.
That's pretty
And,
specific.
Like it's pretty specific. And I'm like, okay, just to be sure, like, hang on, keep going. I'm gonna call her just to make sure there ain't some weird shit going on. So I call her up, like, hey, she answers the phone, like, hey, what's up? She's like, nothing, y'all are out at the graveyard. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, what's up? I'm like, everything cool over there? She goes, should it not be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we're over talking to this ghost. Now she's been doing this 20 years with me too, so
Right.
she's aware of something's up. You know what I mean? Oh, we're over talking to this ghost on this ghost radio. And then called your name off and asked you where you at. Said you're at home, and we asked her with who, and it said the dog, and then it said Kratos, and she's like, oh, well, I've been feeling kind of weird the last 15 or 20 minutes, and I don't know why. I was like, well, you probably got somebody visiting you at the moment. And she goes,
Right.
well, they're live on the radio. I'm like, you tell them to go the fuck on.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, okay.
And so the funny thing is, like I said, she had just showed up and she was talking and she goes, what kind of dog? And then it said pit bull. I'm like, wow, is it getting any closer than that?
Wow.
So he kept talking to it after he talked to her. And she said, what did it say, protection or something? Kept saying protection. And he's like, what do you need? What does she need protection over?
Oh, it was trying to create this deal where it gets some excitement out of me, like
Yeah.
it's trying to do something creepy to her, and I'm like,
Mhm.
no.
But it was as plain as day. Like, it was talking to us like it was there.
So,
I was
yeah.
like, this is so wild.
It's pretty intelligent.
Yeah. Arbitrary question. Distance between your domicile and your physical location at that point in time. Roughly.
20 miles.
Okay. So that to me leads me to believe that all of this stuff is just interconnected everywhere all the time, all at once.
They can be.
wherever,
You
whatever.
want to go down that rabbit hole?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, well, if you're going to say that, then
Yeah, you don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
we started. So I was like, okay, let's test
Glad
that.
you asked
theory.
that. I was thinking that like it's all connected.
Let's test that theory because he's like, well, ghosts should be able to talk to you no matter where they're at, right? And so kind of thing. I was like,
Right.
well, I'm thinking is that they're attached to that place. You know what I
Right.
mean? So let's leave this EVP going. We're gonna leave it here, and my house is from here to from there to there. What, 10 miles,
Mhm.
12 miles roughly? I was like, okay, so I should not be getting it 12 miles away. You know what I mean? That person that was talking there was talking to us there as
Huh.
well. The
So
same
it's-
voice, the same everything. I'm like, I'm still
So-
getting it in my house. Why are you still talking to me 12 miles away?
Right.
Is that like they're attached to y'all? In a way?
Maybe, right? And
Are they-
they're
are you-
always
You've poked them and they're like, oh, well, you got me
Well,
for a while.
they're anchors. They're like
they know.
it's like a taproot. Like they know that they can get.
I cannot
That's
prove
kinda
this,
my
but
theory.
Well, shit, like
our
that.
experience
it's
is
kinda-
this:
It's very
that
different.
ghosts know. I can't prove this to you, but just from experience, from all the shit that's went on, we feel like ghost. If there's a spirit there of some nature, dead grandpa's there. He knows everything there is to know about you when you walk up, because he's able to somehow
Tap in.
access that information.
Oh,
Right? You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, Mimi.
From some sort of yeah,
Mimi
from some
Mimi
sort
went
of
Mimi's gone. Yeah,
they can go divine wisdom, or they're capable, since they're not stuck in this human body, in this physical body, of
Or the fact that everything happens all at the same time, regardless of past, present, or future.
or they understand shit we just can't.
Can't.
Spangler. And so
The Reaper Matt's unstoppable.
This is my jam, dude.
yeah, that's
I
what's
like
up.
this shit.
But we don't have time for the full story in this podcast, I don't think. But we got one that's pretty wild.
I don't see a time clock.
I am whipped. My wife said, "Don't be too long. We got shit to do." And so
Checks out.
I
That's
got
fine.
30, 45 minutes.
You're
And,
good. Yeah.
So he we had a place in Jefferson. People that know me will know exactly what I'm talking about. The home that was haunted is no longer there because it burned.
You told us a little bit on the last podcast.
So we did tell you about the Arkansas incident with it.
Don't recall.
So
There was
we-
EVPs that you got at the Jefferson House in Arkansas, correct?
Of the same spirit,
Yeah.
with the same tone of voice,
You told us
doing
this.
the same sort of things. The only thing in my imagination that could have planned that out is that spirit.
Yeah.
'Cause
See, if
I
I was
think
a
of it,
professional
you know what I mean?
podcaster, I would have gone back and listened
And
to the last episode.
yeah.
Kind of cleared it
Yeah.
up a bit.
I'm not.
It's kind of like whenever we make a podcast, it's forever in the past.
Yeah.
We just burn it and keep going.
So in the sake
When
of
it comes back and bites us in the ass,
of
well,
starting to test your own psychology, you know what I mean? You start to wonder, like you start thinking about shit and didn't think so. So did Ghost Sarah set all this up? You know what I mean? Did Ghost
pushing you to this house.
Did Ghost Sarah call some people, talk to some people, whisper in the ears to have them to call this person, then call me, then I go over there.
That's
and
crazy
then I
to think
ascertain-
about.
She somehow got a psychic person to come there to identify her, right? And then she says,
Like, so you were purposely put in the location by the thing.
"This sounds fucking nutty, I know,
No,
but
for clarification,
here we are, right?
doesn't sound nutty. at all.
Because-
Divine intervention.
Doesn't sound nutty at all.
There's nothing
Sounds-
divine about it. She stole her shit and put it in other people's bags, all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah.
And
It's just a kid, man.
That's right.
Kids do dumb shit.
That's right.
let's assume that she's that, or not portraying that, right? And the whole Indian skinwalker thing is starting to make kind of sense, because
That
we
shit's
don't
creepy.
know if that's Sarah, some 8 or 9 year little girl, because we
Or-
can't see her,
Right.
right?
Right.
We don't know what she's doing, right? Ghost catfish, I think. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
They're probably
so-
the most effective at it.
Yeah, they're really good at it because you can't see them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then she somehow says, "Well, I know this other place that's really cool." Her intention could have been, "I know another haunted place with a bunch of spirits at." Well, then I'll whisper in their ear, then they'll call this person, calls you, and you go up there, and then I'll show up and freak you the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what she did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And we've been to another place in which we didn't get to investigate it. We were there for a tour, and then they were like, "Yeah, the most prominent ghost that's here is there's this little girl named Sarah." And meanwhile, look at each other like,
No.
Ah, fuck, man.
That bitch.
you know what I mean? Like, oh, fuck. And they were like, "Hey, does she take shit and, like put it in other places?" Like, "Oh, you've been here." Motherfucker.
Is that the,
You know what I mean?
is that the South
It's her.
Carolina thing?
I can't even remember where it was. Dee will remember where it was, but we didn't get to investigate the place. We were like, "Son of a bitch," like. And then Dee's, of course, she's like, "I need to tell y'all, I know who your ghost is because we ran into that bitch 2 or 3 times, right?" You know what I mean? and she's fun. She does fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
But she's very, very well known to
Mischievous.
very mischievous.
I,
Like, why do you take the back off of somebody's recorder and then take the batteries out of the recorder, leave the recorder where it's supposed to be, right,
Yeah.
with the batteries and the little back for the batteries gone, and then take the back and shove it in somebody's other battery drawer, like they got their little kit with their little batteries and their little battery drawers or whatever. Ours has our name printed on the back of it, so that other investigators like,
huh.
Well, when you're
Maybe
sharing
he thought-
equipment, charging things, like it's important you get your own stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're in a band, so we understand you
Yeah.
are your
Yeah.
shit.
You're in charge of your
right? So
shit.
you
That's
get
it.
back.
yeah, it just keeps from chaos, you know.
Yeah.
And plus, I got money and shit on my back,
Absolutely.
right? You
From
know
now
what I mean?
on, like
And
when something
so
comes in
does-
your bag, you're like, Sarah.
Sarah.
And
Sorry,
I'll,
dude.
and I'll think, so does he, right?
Yeah.
He wants his shit back.
Yeah.
And cool, right? And then he's looking at shit like, how the fuck did I? And he immediately goes, damn, I picked their back up, right? Well, then there's the batteries. There was an older lady that was with us as investigated. She paid to be at that event. We were there to help the event take place because the event supported the location, right? We didn't get paid to
So
do
you were
this 'cause
facilitating.
yeah,
the whole
we
thing.
were volunteering to do
Right.
it, right? So we did that thing, and we brought our shit and used our shit. We let people use our shit, so we got to make sure we get our shit back because
Yeah.
these are 20, 30 people I never met in my life might take my shit. You know, I don't want that happening, so keep on top of it, right?
Yeah.
And then we're like, damn, you know, we lost this back in the batteries, and you start thinking, well, if one of the people that were the guests here tonight, they just took the whole fucking recorder, right?
Yeah.
Why would they
Not
just take
just
the
the
back?
battery.
That's
Yeah,
mischievous and weird. We see ghosts do shit like that, but did it fall and the back come off of it and the batteries roll off somewhere? So we looked all in the room, couldn't find that. Well, then later the other
Except for the
investigator
fact that
said
it was still
in its
where it
place,
was at before.
right?
Yeah.
And then you start thinking all kinds of things. Did somebody accidentally kick it off? And, oh shit! And put it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff like that.
But you would have heard that though.
Maybe. You know what I mean? Were we in the room when it happened? I don't know because there was 10 rooms in the place, and we were moving around. But and then the other investigator later calls you several days later, like, dude, the battery back off on your recorders is in my bag. I don't know why.
But if somebody would have knocked it over, like
Right.
you would have, before the batteries came out, you would have heard it on the recording of it,
Yeah.
like the shuffling and the falling and the
Right.
whatever.
And his thought was this: why is that in my bag? Because we sometimes store this equipment, so you take the batteries out of them so they don't blow up and shit. You know what I mean? Because it might be months later before you use it again.
Yeah.
So take the batteries out, right? So that's what we do, right? He goes, but who takes the batteries out of the device and leaves the back off of it and puts the back in the battery bag?
Right.
Pretty wild.
No, nobody does that. And not just to mention that, why would you put the back to a recorder in your battery bag and that back don't belong to you and it's got a big old white ass sticker on the inside of it that says our name on it, right? That make any sense because he first like, oh man, I took the battery back, and then him himself go,
Right.
why would I put it there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why would I not? If it was my battery back or any battery back at all, I'd be trying to match it to the piece
Well,
of equipment
and
that
I'm
it
also
goes
I'm
to.
assuming that you guys had a staging area
Yes.
that had all of the
Yes.
equipment there. So why, if you like, okay, I found this,
And then he.
why would you not just take it back to quote unquote home base, right?
Yeah. And then he goes, I remember the McCaskills going, hey, we got a recorder here and our back and the batteries are missing from it, right? So people were looking for it. He helped look, right?
Yeah.
He goes, I would have saw it that night. You know what I mean? Wow. That don't make no sense. So he's like, there's something hinky going on here. You know what I mean? And then unbeknownst to him, we also get the same call. It was either the same day or the day later that the old lady that paid the ticket, she's a really nice lady and she went on a lot of hunts with us because she likes us.
Yeah.
And she calls me and she goes, thank God she likes us, right? Because she's like, hey, Mike, because she has my number. You know, anytime you want to talk about stuff, she's just super nice old lady. And anytime you want to talk, here's my number. Call me. And she calls every now and then, asks paranormal questions. Super cool. And she calls me. She goes, hey, Mike. Now, before we begin this conversation, I know who you are, and I know you're a good person.
That's wild.
Okay, what are we talking about?
What a wild thing to say.
Right?
to
I mean,
someone.
that's how we start the
That's
conversation.
almost as bad as somebody calling and say, hey, you know what? We need to talk,
Yeah.
but later.
Fuck
That,
you,
don't
dude.
do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit.
My mom said that cat. I used to do that shit to her, not thinking of that, you know. And she finally, you need to quit doing that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, fine. And anyway, I'm like, okay, so I'm bracing myself for what you say next. It's going to be terrible. She goes, well, it's not terrible. It's just weird. What's that? She goes, you remember the night that we were there and we're investigating in one of your recorders, the battery back and the batteries came up missing. I'm like, yeah. She goes, I found the batteries. I think they're the batteries. They're the type of battery that fits the recorders. She goes, so let me ask you a question. That brand of batteries, do you have your box of batteries? I was like, yes. She goes, can you look in there and see what brand of batteries you got? Sure. So I went over there and I opened the box up. She goes, you send me a picture of that box? I'm like, sure. She goes, that's the exact brand of battery. I'm like, okay, so what are we talking about? She goes, those batteries were in my suitcase, in a pocket of my suitcase. Your ass shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we talking about? She goes, my underwear, man. I'm like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Now look, first thing, she's like, you don't need to explain yourself.
It was.
I know you would not have done that, right? She goes, but someone did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
Her
don't know
name
why
was Sarah.
someone. She goes, or some. She goes, or something. And I was like, well, I need to tell you about the battery back, right? So I tell the story about the battery back. She goes, well, that's absolutely Sarah. So next time we investigate there, I'm going to ask her to stay out of my panties. I'm like, yeah, you might want to do that.
The back of the recorder and the battery for the recorder were in separate locations. Different people's rooms, different people's things.
That now live hundreds of miles from each other, right? That do not know each other.
Right.
They only met each other that night, right? And
So that night, that's when Sarah did her thing.
that's one of the things she did. She did a number of other things. She stole whole pieces of equipment before
So
that
you
were found later in the attic.
So you at home now, does Sarah?
No, we haven't talked to Sarah in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, years.
She got
years,
kind
and
of
years.
bored.
No, the house, us and the owner of the house had a kind of a falling out,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a whole nother ghost story. That's really weird. We had a falling out personal deal, right? She was doing things I didn't appreciate. She was accusing me of things that I didn't appreciate.
Yeah.
So we had a kind of a hey
It
fuck you
seems to
bitch,
be
hey
a-
fuck you dude.
It seems to be a theme with like prolific haunted locations.
Right.
So I know the Conjuring House thing that's going on right now is
Oh yeah.
super crazy.
So I'll tell this. Yeah, it's super crazy.
Yeah.
That house burned. I had something go on, and I do not remember what it was, but the person that I needed to get whatever I needed to get from, I don't even remember what it was for, were at that house.
This is the place in Jefferson.
Yes.
Okay.
And us and that lady, and I don't want to speak ill her, we just had a big falling out, and it was not good.
Shit
She
happens.
didn't like
Yeah.
me, and I didn't like
Shit
her the
happens.
same, you
Yeah.
know. And I need to go to that house to get that. I'm like, fuck. So I did what I thought is manning up, doing the right thing. Go to that house, find the owner first.
Yeah.
Get permission.
Yes.
Right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Be respectful, right? We hate each other, but I got a thing to do. If you don't allow me, it's fine. I get it, right? So I go up there, and there's the people outside, and I'm not gonna call her name because it's not appropriate. And I said, hey, where's so and so? There are people outside, and they're like, well, she's in the house. I'm like, okay, great. I didn't want to go in the house because I didn't feel welcome to go in the house, right? And
Also low key vampire. Can't go in without permission.
correct. We'll keep it.
We invited you here.
Yeah, you dirty bitch. Anyway, so there's that.
Yeah, but you let him in. You don't own the house, so technically he's.
Oh,
It doesn't
right,
work.
so-
Damn, fuck. Can't come out and peel the
Can't
pillows
suck my
Anyway.
blood from my dick.
now. So I said,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
hell with it. I'll just go in and ask her. And I walked in. I was like, hey, I know you don't want me here. I get that.
I don't
said,
want to
but-
be here. Also, by the
Yeah.
way, yeah.
Yeah, fuck you,
But
fuck me.
the only
I
reason
just-
I'm here is this. Do you mind? And she's like, no, dude, go ahead. You know what I mean? And she was giving me that look like, you know what I mean? She was not happy. And then the ghosts start talking. And
to you, yeah.
oh man, it was bad. They were all over me when I walked in the door.
Yeah.
And they were screaming at me. There's 3 known spirits that are in that house that we had had many compilations of conversations with. And we're also the people that found the spirits there. We're the ones that identified the ghosts that were there. I was the first one to confirm that there's spirits there. I was also the first people that caught evidence of it, right?
Mhm.
And those spirits always spoke to us,
Mhm.
right? And was always friendly. It was always good, not this day. And they kept screaming, fire, fire, Mike, fire, fire, fire. I'm like, what the fuck? Somebody gonna fucking catch something on fire in this movie?
Yeah.
Now, the investigator, they were going to do an investigation that night. The investigators run that investigation, I know. and we're cool, right? And Roman was like, hey, dude, investigation. Yeah, dude. Like, good luck, man. I hope you have fun. He's like, you hang around. You know better than that. He's like, okay, it's still sour. Yeah, I'm just getting something. He's like, cool. It's like, hey, man, y'all have fun, dude. And I said, be aware tonight because they're lively right now. He goes, man, it's felt weird in this house this whole time. And the house never felt weird. It felt weird, haunted, but not like bad weird. Right?
Not
Like
ominous.
it's not ominous is a good word. And it
They're on fire tonight.
it just felt
Not as much as that house.
it felt weird. And I left and I went and told Diaz like there's something going on. And then 2 weeks later the house burns to the ground.
Damn.
And oddly enough, the day before my birthday burns to the ground. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And the house burns to the ground, and then that investigator talks to me about it, and it's just happenstance. He didn't plan on it, but you know, we were talking later. We live 2 different lives, so we run each other periodically, right?
Right.
And we're friendly with each other, but you know, we don't hang out.
Don't
you
run
know
in
what I
the same circles.
mean? We don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cool
Right.
dude, love the guy, great. And he thinks the same of me. We're cool. And we're just talking about it. He goes, hey man, he said I gotta bring this up. I've been meaning to run into you, and it just happened. He goes, you remember that investigation I did before said place burned? I'm like, what about it? He goes, I caught some really, really weird EVPs that night. What about? Threatened me about fire and stuff, which is what they were screaming at me. And I'm like, okay. He goes, and more stuff, right? And the more stuff I'm not going to say on a podcast, but the more stuff that was on the EVPs pointed towards some criminal activity or arson and accident is the way the EVPs were. Can't prove that in no court of law, right?
Yeah, you
But
can't
it
just-
did that
yeah.
way.
Can't subpoena a ghost.
You can't subpoena a ghost. But why are they telling that stuff a couple weeks before an incident like that actually happened?
What did they say the fire was?
Like they
Electrical?
knew it,
or-
electrical from the kitchen area is what the fire investigators said happened to the
Yeah.
house.
Have you ever seen the TV show just came out, Black Rabbit? You realize how easy it is to get insurance from burning a house. I didn't know it was that easy, but it seems
I
like
didn't know
it's
that. Yeah.
pretty simple pimple.
There's a lot more to that story, but that just kind of weird. You're talking about ghosts that know things and or create scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Well, if they're not know all things, how do they know that this is going to transpire and then
Yeah.
try to endure a paranormal investigation that's supposed to be fun, warning people of it?
Right.
Right? Why?
Right.
And
And
so
also,
that's-
like, how do they know? You know, it's
yeah,
like,
if they can't see in the future,
right?
which goes back around of
Is everything
maybe
just happening all at
Sarah
one
did
time?
do that.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Maybe Sarah did do that. Maybe Sarah did lead the way. Maybe we knocked on a door that's pulling us in directions that we're unable to recognize or see, and we're just bumping along like drunk idiots.
Yeah.
Welcome to Truck Beers.
Welcome to Truck Beers.
There's that.
We're just plugging along. Like, you know, you meet people and then, you know, it becomes interesting. Like, I'm not to get too fucking weird here, but me and this dude are friends, but we have the same interest in shit.
Right.
That a coincidence?
I think you're naturally drawn to people that you have similarities with.
Right. So there we
It's-
are.
You're either. This is the I'm not an old ancient or anything, but I've noticed in my life that you're either shut up. You're either friends with people that are very similar to you or polar opposites.
All I know is that I'm starting to live this life where I've been saying it for years now, but I'm really just taking it in of, I don't know about this word coincidence. Whether
I don't think there's such a thing as
I don't
coincidence
either.
at all.
I don't either.
And I'm not saying everything's predestined or predetermined, but I do think that every experience or thing that you have happen to you in your life is because of something. I don't know what that something may be.
Yeah, I don't want to presume that I understand things, but I want to presume that I see shit going on that don't make no damn sense. And the
Yeah.
only sense that it makes is the shit that's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it only just adds up. So you're like, oh, let me disprove this shit. You keep going, motherfucker, this is weird. Right? Why does this point in that direction?
Yeah.
And the further you get in the paranormal shit, the further that happens. Right? And then you get the hiccups along the way. Like, you know, I said the D word. I've had 2 cases of that.
Yeah.
And
You said you had a case in Pittsburgh you won't talk about on the podcast. It was pretty rough.
You know, I talked to Mark about that. I will. I'll tell it real quick if you want to tell it. I won't
think
tell
they
where, and I
should
won't.
tell it. It's like, I mean, it's massive, but I think that people can
Shit,
see
all right.
things differently from it.
All right, so we'll
Open
start
your
off
eyes, I
with
think.
the disclaimer. Right. the disclaimer of this is that I believe that if somebody tells you that their house is haunted by a demon, that before this incident, I would have said maybe 1 in a million, right? Maybe, right?
Talk about the Pittsburgh demon story.
I'm going to tell it. It's one of the two. This is I don't want to say it's more profound. It's just more profound to me because of what happened to me in it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the other one was really profound, but the shocking stuff happened to the actual client, right?
Yeah.
And we were there witnessing it. So this particular case is a paranormal case that kept revisiting us about every 2 years. And it's a couple with some children, and their life is...
I have a follow-up question when you're done with the story.
Okay. Their life is, in my opinion, I don't know truth about nothing because I don't live with these people, right? But in my opinion, from what I observed, their life seems to be kind of chaotic. They have a ghost problem, weird poltergeist things, seeing shadows, stuff like that go on. We would come to the house. There would be something there. I would sense it. It would taunt and play with us. And it would taunt me. And we would do house blessings and clear the house, and they would have no trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But then they would move. And then they would move to another place, and then shortly after they move, the same sort of thing would re-enter, right? And then they would call us about 2 years later, and then we would go over there, and it would be similar but a little different, right? And then we would ascertain that they're not crazy. There's something here. I sense it. It's moving around in the house. It's speaking to me, and it's being very weird. So let's bless the house. That is a melody cat, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
And,
pissed off that he can't get to the moth that he's trying to eat.
That poor moth. And so we once again cleanse the place, and then they're fine.
Do you have a religious individual with you doing the cleansing?
Yeah. That's a long pause. Yeah.
Okay.
We can go down. That's a
good
whole
enough.
other topic.
That's good
right?
enough. That's good enough.
It's
I got
a
it.
whole other topic. Now, if we want to do a show about that topic, that'd be great, and I would love to do that.
Let's do it.
Because I have theories about that, and I have things that have worked. It might piss off some of you real church-going people, right?
Perfect.
So
let's do it.
and it'll piss them off in a good way, by the way, right? Because I feel like, not to be full of myself, but I feel like I've experienced things that
Peek behind the curtain scenario.
not peek behind.
Are you saying Orthodox
Watch the movie Behind the
Catholicism's the way to go?
Do what?
Are you saying Orthodox Catholicism's the way to go?
For another episode.
Christ is King. Just kidding.
Hey man, I'm a Jesus guy. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Last podcast, I was like, I think I'm going to convert to
Not
Catholicism.
in any way that your Sunday morning at church is going to tell you I'm a Jesus guy. Not at all.
This would not be an
And,
Easter service.
No.
Back
make
to
it
the
one.
scheduled program. I would love to do a podcast, and I'm sure Dee Dee would love to be here because she's got some instances.
Because I think that is
I think that
I would
It would
love
be
to
great.
get that aspect of this.
it's a heavy part.
I mean, we're doing
It's
this
a
all
very
month. You
big
guys are
time.
more than
It's a-
like, we'll do it again.
If it's from a building, it's a cornerstone of it, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And because we're gonna do that in an episode.
Yeah.
So
We'll put a pin in that one.
this story is going to set a stage for exactly that.
Perfect.
Right. And so we go. They call us up. Hey, we live in Pittsburgh now, and because they used to be like Tyler, and we'd have to kind of go an hour or so off. Like, damn, that's cool. It's like 15 minutes away.
Let's even
Right?
closer. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And unbeknownst to us, we did not plan this. Right. Never looked at a calendar. What happened is like, hey, when's a good day for you to come over? Because we are very, very much, if we're going to come do an investigation and maybe help you with a possible ghost problem, my wife too, but we particularly, there will be no children present during the deal. Just not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm just not going to be responsible for affecting some child.
No,
I'm a weird
that's
mother. I'm not going to bring
No.
a ghost to a kid. Just not
That's
cool.
very
right?
respectful.
that's fucking
Not doing it.
normal
Right?
behavior, I would say.
And
yeah.
so y'all find your babysitter, blah, 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 we'll figure this
Yeah.
out, right? Like, and they got very young ones too. You know what I mean? Like, no, hell no.
Yeah.
And just not there, not happening. And you know, there's the common sense stuff. Children be a big distraction, right? You know what I mean? And take away from what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And
Also, they make noise.
yes, I'll go some EVP, pick your recorder up, run off with it, and chew on it, and shit. No.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
that's
you've
the
seen
normal
kids
stuff.
before.
The other part is just the spiritual ramifications.
Right.
Just no. Right.
Yeah.
And let adults teach their children how they want to. I'm not influencing that, right? So we go there and we say, hey, okay, well, I think it was like 2 or 3 Fridays from now, right? Okay, cool, we'll do it then. Bam, perfect. So we had a team of us, a larger team than we do now, and
Were you part of this team, John?
No, not that moment.
yeah, we didn't even know him then.
Oh.
And so we set it up, call a team member, see if they can come. Quite a number, made it happen because it's a known case, right? So
Yeah.
and more like, hey, I'll make sure I'm there because we know these people.
Yeah.
We've visited them several times before, and the conversation kind of started out. This is the 3rd time. We cleanse their house. We follow up. They're like, everything's great. Nothing goes on. Everything's cool, right? And then they move and it redoes it. There's a reason for it, and we haven't figured that out. And is it the same thing? We weren't sure of that either, right? Or are they doing something that's causing this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
that
yeah.
they haven't said, because people, not necessarily on purpose when it comes to ghost stuff, will lie to you. Particularly about Ouija boards and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Oh man, they just tell you don't have one. It's in the closet. They were playing with it last week and just don't want to tell you.
Right.
Don't know why. Right. And
Well, they don't want to be responsible for whatever hardships they're experiencing.
Nobody wants to.
I
be.
think
There's
that's-
that,
I
yeah.
think that's pretty common. For
Nobody wants to be
humanity in general.
responsible for the actions that they took.
there's also, we're going to call it the Sarah thing. There may also be a spirit there that's going, "Don't do that."
But they also don't want people to
Make
believe
you
it
feel a
too.
certain way
They
where
don't
you
want to
don't.
believe that that's going on.
Right,
Oh, I'm
right.
not hearing these noises.
It's like, I know I did this thing, and I know
Yeah.
these things are happening now, but that thing had nothing to do with this thing.
Having Mike's
Let's just
number is
ignore
really
that like that
cool.
never
Because like if
happened,
I'm
you know?
ever in my camper and I hear something fucking weird, I'll be like, "Yo, Mike."
That plate that come flying across the table. It was nothing.
You just hook that bitch up and drive off, though.
Yeah.
So,
We're on-
preamble, I was starting to
Parking in
get
a
pretty,
church.
I want to say starting, I was pretty well into figuring out that this ability I have will pick up more malevolent things faster than it will the friendly ghost.
Is
right?
it because it's
It's-
stronger? Or just because it's more,
Are you
I
more-
think
because it's more aggressive?
Oh, what's the right word to use? I can't get the word out of my head.
Persistent.
No, that people have the natural ability. Like Shaq's really good at basketball because he has
Talent.
talent, right?
Got it.
That's the word I'm looking for. So he has the talent. I think that's
He's-
mine, right? Is darker, more evil stuff. And older stuff. Like if there's layers of spiritual activity, I
Yeah.
tend to pick up the older shit first. I have no idea why, but it seems to be the way
It's
I'm
like you're just tuned
designed.
into that frequency.
Yeah, I
a
think
little
so.
bit,
Fucking hate
It's like somebody can hit it.
You're
Some,
the
fucking
Josh
hate it.
Allen.
some
of-
baseball players can hit a
Shit.
curveball, and some baseball players can't hit a curveball,
Yeah,
but they can
well,
both hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, I run into the bad
Yeah, he's a
shit.
Josh Allen of hearing
Baseball?
ghost. No, I'm talking
I don't know
about
what
him.
it is.
You went baseball, I went football. Sorry.
Damn. Anyway, so we get there, and I was starting to become pretty aware of that. We had some other cases going on, and it wasn't really me picking it off because my wife was the one outside again. She's like, "Have you started to notice that every time we go some places, when you pick up stuff, they're not aware of it, and then somebody will go history into the place and then find it, And I'm like, yeah, dude. She's like, it's all the time, dude. I'm like, shit. You ever notice that we find the friendlier ghost during investigation, way later in investigation, you find the more kind of dickhead first? I'm like, shit.
I think that's
You know
like,
what I mean?
but that's
My
like,
wife's the one putting this together.
Yeah.
Like, there's a commonality going on here.
but that's like walking into a bar. You're gonna fucking meet the dickhead first because he's always the loudest.
I'll pick them off immediately. They're like, dickhead, or whatever.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
yes.
It's
I have that ability.
yeah.
That's
I
because
don't-
you're trying to pick a fight.
Yeah. The
I'm not.
But
I'm gonna fuck that fight. I'm
at
going for
what
that shit.
point, Mike, did you realize what day it was when you got there? 'Cause
We're
that
getting into
was-
that. We're getting
yeah,
into
yeah,
that.
I'm sorry. I'm just
And,
being
No, no, it's
so-
fine.
So here we are,
Professional.
professional.
professional,
Idiot.
and then
Asshole. Dickhead.
we're there, and we're talking to him, and I sensed it up front, but then I let it go immediately that there was something wonky about the wife. She seemed a little more off today than last time we've been there before, right? But I just wrote it off, right? That she's having a bad day or she's didn't take her meds. I don't know.
She's a person people have.
and
Yeah.
so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her, but that's not important. We're here for a ghost, right? And so here we are. So we talked to them, and it was kind of similar sort of stuff, except for there are a few things that were going on activity-wise that hadn't happened before. And okay, so we listen to that. Well, and then of course the team looks at me like, "Do you feel something?" Yep. Like there's something been moving around in those two rooms over the whole time.
So
we've
the
been
team
here,
that are
right?
with you, do they have like the ability you have in some level of degree?
Not to that level.
Yeah.
No. And
But they can go somewhere and be like, "Yo."
there's another podcast about that.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like
I kind of think you're a battery for some people.
I feel like humans in general though have an innate sense to pick up on
Fuckery.
things
Yeah,
to an
things-
extent.
Things are a
I
better
think
word to
people,
say.
some people
I
are better
think-
at it than other people, but I think everybody.
Here's
has
the
that.
idea for your podcast, the theory that I have, right? And I've tested this theory a little bit, and I found some fact in it. Maybe I have just advanced intuition. Right?
Mm,
That doesn't mean you don't have intuition. You don't have any intuition.
it's just a dormant
so
thing.
you could suck at basketball right now, but if you practice more,
Still
you'll get
suck.
better. Or you still suck.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
I
you should
think
do
some
something
people
else.
though opens the door more. You know what I mean? Some
I-
people just has a key
That's kind
to
of-
open
I
the
think that's kind
door.
of-
I think I was.
Yeah.
I think
Where-
conduit would be a better word than battery.
Conduit. I mean,
Maybe
yeah.
I was dropped on the head as a kid just the right way. You know, I don't know.
Conduit's the way the power travels. Batteries where the power comes from. You're right.
Yeah.
And there are people that have this ability that are way better than I.
Super.
You know. I like to say that this ability that I have, that I'm not the best at it. As a matter of fact, I'm probably on the bottom end of good at it. I've met other psychics that are very good,
Yeah.
and they're more in tuned. And now they're very good, more in tune with people, right? I'm more in tune with the spirit side of things, and they read people, tell them about. We had this psychic tell us about we had a pipe broke under our house, and there's a lake under our house. Let me fucking talk about it. We go home and crawl up under the house, and there's a lake under the bitch. Like, you fuck, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was more cool to me than the dead people shit, because
Right.
that was something I needed to fix.
Right.
And
It's tangible.
yeah. Our dog, we had a little dog that kept throwing up. We don't know why. I take him back, figure it out. And he goes, he's allergic to the food. Change him away from that food with this stuff on our other food and quit. I'm like, cool. So we found the lake. Oh shit, let's change the food. Fuck, change the food. Dog never threw up again.
Yeah.
And like, psychic.
Yeah.
New Orleans, weird. And all right, cool. But it worked. You know, that dude was spot the fuck on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, wow.
I told you.
So-
You said New Orleans. I told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
told
Just
that
making sure.
story, yeah.
I was like, wait. Whoa. What? Something telling you?
Yeah, you had your story. It was pretty profound. And
It was the worst.
so back to this. So we go there and we're like, okay, and then the team's like, you feel anything? Yep, there's something moving around here. I'm like, same thing? Yeah, I think. Right? And because I really couldn't remember the signature of the ghost from 2 years before, right? Because I have shit memory. And like,
It's also just long enough, even if it's you have a great memory, that's just long enough for you to kind of
yeah, but I don't.
details get muddy though at that
So,
point in time.
Yeah.
2 years.
So here we
10
are.
years, I'm fine. 2 years.
So we start investigating, and then it does this typical shit, right? Nothing, then play with some of the stuff, and then it started playing with us on a way on the ghost box that was very similar to the demonic activity we had at another case that happened before, right?
Yeah.
And I went, there's things I know about those spirits, that they are very, very, very much creatures of habit, right? And that they all tend to kind of do kind of similar things. And this started portraying that, right? And it made me go, fuck. You know what I mean? Let's hope not,
Mhm.
right? You know what I mean? Let's just hope that's coincidence. Well, my stupid ass, right? He goes, well, I know a way to find out. Provoke it, right?
Yeah.
Provoke it with, okay, so I have a belief in divine that is 100% my belief, and I will stand behind it, and I know something walks with me. I know that I am protected spiritually. I have reached out, and that type of spiritual energy has entered back to me, divinity.
Yeah.
Right? I've been visited by an angelic being 3 times in my life.
Yes.
Right.
You told us one on the last
And,
podcast. About,
So I know that I can call upon that origin of power, and I know with blind faith, without any resistance whatsoever, that I'm being walked with. Right. That is the main reason I provoked that. Right.
Mhm.
You know
Because
you had backup.
yeah, I know that there's something above watching me. Right.
Mhm.
I don't know that, right? But I know it because my face that way, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do this shit, it better be, right?
Yeah.
And you're about to find out why, right? So I said, "Who are you?" And then you get no answer. Most all ghosts will not tell you the name. The real fun, like human ones, will give you names, right?
Yeah.
And this one didn't give a name, and I went, "No, you don't get to shut up. What is your name?" We'll give it to me. I said, "I got a better one. tell me who Jesus Christ is. And the voice went, fuck you. And now lean back in the chair and turn and look at everybody in the room. And some of those people were at the other investigation that happened before. And they're like, oh, shit. And the energy in the room, I don't give a damn if you'd been there before, changed.
Yeah.
Because it had showed itself. Right?
Got real sour real quick.
Real sour, real fast. And it's like, then I have to make this decision now. Do I let it go? Or are we about to be in some shit?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's something evil on the other side of that recorder right now. There's something evil on the other side of that radio. And it's been fucking with us. And now I've called it out on its shit. And now it can't play that card anymore. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it has to either do one of two things.
Act out
or go away.
Yeah.
Go away, something rarely they do to me. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, looked over at my wife, and wife's going, because she knows what I'm going to do. I'm going to defend these people. I'm going to defend my peoples, right? I'm not scared of these things. I really should be, but I'm not, right?
Yeah.
It's just this sense I have, this drive, right? And I go, you need to leave here. And he goes, no. I'm like,
this is over the ghost radio.
Right.
Yeah.
So provoke a little bit, the energy gets a little insane, and people that are in the team are like wanting to leave, right?
Yeah.
Because they're scared now, right? So it's a good time to stop.
Yeah.
Right? Stop. Let's go outside. People smoke cigarettes. Let's smoke a cigarette. Let's regroup. And now let's not wing this anymore. Let's have a plan of how we're going to perceive this investigation.
Because you kind of know at this point in time what you're doing.
Punk bitch out and go the fuck home.
It's a different
Right? And go,
Yeah.
bye people, see you at church. You know,
Yeah.
there's options on the table. I'm not doing that.
No.
Right? And so we go outside and we tell the people in the house, hey, y'all stay right here. And the husband's like, dude, what's going on? You got a ghost. We don't think it's that friendly. We got to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, okay, we got to go outside, regroup, give us 20, 30 minutes. He's like, yeah, no problem, right? So we go outside. His wife don't say much. We go outside. We're out there talking about how we proceed. Now, one of the people on my team is training to be a priest at the time, right? He's a deacon or whatever in his church. And he's doing that because it's something calling that he's got. Two, it's beneficial to what we're doing later, right? You know what I mean? So it's his way of saying, hey, I can help this way, right? You know what I mean? Cool. And so he's like, well, here's what I've learned
in
so
a
far.
successful quest, everyone contributes.
Right. And so he's like, hey, here's what I've learned
D&D
so
101.
far. You know, he's got a bishop that he's been talking to in the church he's part of, and kind of training him about the stuff. You know, there's text and that, and it's an independent Catholic thing. And he's like, hey, here's what I've learned, yada yada yada. And it's good to put that stuff on the table. What do we do? What do we do? And we're in the middle of talking, and the husband comes out of the house, right? He's like, hey, Mike, you know, because I'm kind of the leader here, right? And
Well, you're the contact. You're the
right.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, dude. He's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? He's like, I don't mean to interrupt what you were doing, but he said, I need a word. I'm like, yeah, no problem, man. So I walk away from the team, go there, and he goes, can you, and he paused for a second, he goes, man, something's wrong with my wife. I'm like, is she okay? Oh, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? He goes, you mind coming look? I'm like, no, I don't mind. I said, hey, something's up with, and I call her name. And they're like, okay, we'll go ahead and check it out. So when you walk in the house, man, that little room was like a rectangle room. And the way they decorated that room was fucking weird, right? And so when you walk in that room, it's long rectangle, so you're going into the narrow part and it's long. And then here is a couch. No, man. Here is a bed, right?
Yeah.
And over, no, here's a couch, and here's a bed. Then over here is kind of empty and like a closet door, if I remember right. I can't remember what was right there. And then there's a dresser with a fish tank on top of it. And then there's a table over here with a TV over here. Just weird, throw that together. And so you walk in, when you walk into that
Does that
room,
matter to you? Like how they, like,
it's about to,
Yeah.
it's to you
Okay.
visualize what's about to transpire,
Yeah.
right? So I walk in, the bed's right here, right? Couch right here, bed right there, right? And she's on the edge of the bed, faced away from us at about a 40-degree angle at the door that goes into the hallway. So I see basically this part of her, right?
So is this like a room where like there's two ways in or two doors.
Yeah,
two
there's a
separate-
door from the outside that goes into the rectangle. At the end of the rectangle, there's a door that goes
Leads
into the hallway.
rest of the house.
That goes into
Okay.
the rest of the house.
So
right?
it's like a bedroom that has its own access from the outside,
yes.
Yeah.
then has access to
It's the
rest
master
of
I really don't know
bedroom.
what
Yeah.
the hell that room was about, but it's there. You go. That makes more
The
sense,
old
right?
Sears Craftsman houses, you could build them any way you wanted to back in the day.
Somebody had some ideas.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
And so here she is on the edge of that bed, faced away where you see this part of her shoulder. You see all of her back, right? But
Yeah.
she's, you're looking.
She's
at her.
away from you.
Yeah, you're looking like this, and she's
She's
kind of
quarter facing, as if you.
Yeah, she's kind of facing
bow
the
hunting.
door. If the door is like this, she's kind of facing it like that.
Yeah,
to the edge
yeah.
of that bed.
So
right?
basically, like that.
Sorta,
Like, I'm
but
looking
it'd be
at
more
his-
right side than his left side, right?
Well, I
So-
can't turn him all the
yeah,
way.
yeah,
around.
right.
He has
See,
bones.
You get it, right? And she
Thanks
is.
for acknowledging my
I
bones.
can't see her hands, but you can tell that her arms are kind of in her lap,
Yeah.
and she is rocking like she's in a chair, right? Something you would see on like
And she called
some
you.
sort
Yeah?
of. The what?
She called you, or he called you.
He called me. He's like,
Yeah.
something's up with my
She didn't
wife.
call you though.
Yeah, he's like, what's up? And she's rocking back and forth, and I'm standing at the doorway looking at her rocking back and forth, and look over him,
Mm.
and I'm like, he's like, we're talking, but we're not speaking words, right? I'm like, he's like,
You're basically saying it has this normal behavior.
yeah, he's like,
absolutely
fuck
not.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
he's weirded out, right? I'm like, okay, so, and I just said words like, so he's like, I don't know, like, huh. And I took another step, and the room got real heavy when I took another step. I'm like,
Heavy for everybody, or just for you?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
just know it was.
It was
me,
heavy
right?
for you. Yeah.
Well, it's just you and him and her at this point. So there's not like there's. a
I
bunch of
didn't
people
know
in
anybody come behind me
Right.
because at this point I was hyper focused on
What's going
there.
on?
So the husband's still in the room.
Yeah, he's right here.
And then but it's.
I
just
know
the-
the team was walking with me as
Okay.
I was coming up, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know how many people have entered the room or not. Right?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm focused.
But your inclination is like, yo, something's.
something's up.
Yeah.
So I go over there and I sit down on the edge, basically on the arm of the couch, right? And I sit down and I call her by her name.
Nothing.
I mean, not a twitch, not a stop. Like, I never said anything, right?
Basically talking to Helen Keller.
Yeah. And talking to a deaf person entirely.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, are you okay? Right? And then nothing. And then I went, surely not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Surely not.
Yeah.
And I went, well, I know. So I turned this on, right? And I went, hey, you. And she fucking stopped rocking.
Yeah.
And at that point, the fear went to the roof, right? I'm like, that's not her.
Right.
Fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a new level shit now. You know what I mean? This is.
Is this first time for you?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck. I know nothing how to handle this with my brain at this point.
Right.
Right.
So now it's just pure intuition, right? What I do.
There's got to be a completely different ball game between a haunting / paranormal experience and a full on.
I would tell
session.
people this.
Oh,
People
yeah,
like,
it's a
oh, I've been in
different
the room with the devil. I've been in the room. I've talked to the devil. No, you haven't because you're talking about it so freely.
Mm.
Because I have. Let me fucking tell you.
It's got to be like a PTSD level event, I would assume.
I would assume, yeah.
Uh-huh. It's different shit, homeboy.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, you. And she stopped and was like, fuck.
You were hoping you were wrong at this point.
Fuck
right?
yes, I was hoping I was wrong. And
So
and I'm
when
like,
you said, hey, you were like, hey, you.
hey, you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone else, not her. I would never speak to one like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would just dip the voice, hey, you.
Yeah.
Very controlling, right?
Yeah.
And she stopped, and I went, fuck. And I never turned to look back at anybody at that point. I don't remember.
No, you're
turning to look back
locked
at
in.
anybody. And I went, you have to leave. That's what's went in my head. Almost like, I don't even remember sure it was my own thoughts, right? And I went, you have to leave, right? No response, no move, none of that kind of shit. I said, you realize I'm talking to you in the name of, and I use religious provocation, right? And she would use the quotations, She turns off her corner, turns and looks at me and smiles.
Just
Right?
side eye, cat eye.
And you could have cattle prodded me when she did it, right? Like some weird electrical shock.
Blood went cold, just everything.
No, like a
Yeah.
legit.
Ugh.
No, I was legit being electrocuted. It felt like, right? Just my hands went fucking crazy, and I'm like, what in the fuck, right, is going on here? And to kind of shake it off, right? And shook it off, and was like, shit. Turned, looked, the eye still cocked at me, smiling at me like I did that, you know, like. And I immediately wanted to get very angry, but I know not to do that, right? Because this is Father of all lies, right? Is trying to provoke a response,
That's what it wants, right?
It
This
wants
situation.
you to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm at least self-aware enough to go, no, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Right? No. And then I started chant of the Lord's Prayer, right? And then turn and look for like help, right? And then the team started chanting the Lord's Prayer, right? And then I started telling it, you are going to leave here, you are going to do that. And she stood up and screamed the bloodiest curling scream that I've ever heard in my entire life, and went through that door and down that hallway, off in the distance somewhere, and I heard what sounded like pots and pans and shit being thrown around in a kitchen, right? Whoa. You know? And then this voice in my head goes, follow. The other voice that's mine went, why?
Yeah, what the fuck?
You know what I mean?
But what,
And then the
but
other
what
voice-
if I don't?
And the other voice went, follow. At that point, this is hard for normal people to understand. At that point, I understood I must. Right? And I went down that hallway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's make sure that we understand this when I'm walking down that hallway. This is not to be laughed. You're going to laugh because you should, right? But this is very serious. I was scared out of my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I was frightened as shit. But I'm walking down that hallway like, holy fuck, right? So I walk down the hallway, and the voice goes, stop. Stop. And this voice is in here, right?
It's audible to you.
I've heard this voice before in my life.
Yeah.
I've heard this voice
It's not a
before,
ghost. It's not
and
something
I've
triggering your
listened to
talent.
this voice before, and things have went well for me. Not to this magnitude, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not this, just personal shit.
Lottery tickets don't work.
No shit, no.
Yeah,
There's never
okay,
been.
I was just making sure.
The only thing that's been
You can't abuse
helping in this deal
Just
is
asking,
that
dude.
the voice has stopped me from fucking myself up or making really bad decisions that would have been life altering, right? In a bad way. And I've listened to the voice before, and then there's always been some reason to come around that something would have happened. I'd have been there, I'd have been all fucked up, maybe dead, prison, some shit. And just didn't do it. Thank God for the
So
voice.
there's like basic intuition, and then there's
this
what you're
fucking
talking
voice.
about.
This fucking voice.
It's
Several
basic
steps
plus.
above.
You
This
have to
is
pay
what
for it.
real religious
No ads.
people.
No, that's-
This is what real religious people will say if they're watching your podcast and you got a bunch of like that. They'll say that God spoke to me.
I
And
get
I
it.
cannot.
My mom's watching
and
probably.
I cannot disagree with that.
I get it.
Can't
I'm
disagree.
not going to
with
argue with
No.
it. I get it.
that. I would tell you that that voice was powerful, divine, sweet, and demanding.
And clear.
Very clear.
Yeah.
It's like what a
There's
true.
no, like-
Crystal
There's
fucking
There's no assumption
So,
left
my-
at this point in time. It's like,
Yeah.
hey,
You
these
know.
are instructions. Follow them.
You could tell me to shut up immediately, but it's like a true father's voice.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I believe, I'll go ahead and say what I believe, that whatever that I believe in, my faith represented itself in my head right there.
Yeah.
Right? And said, I am here.
Yeah.
Right? Do these things. All will be well.
I got you.
Right? And I'm like, okay. And I said, stop. And then the voice goes, stand your ground. Man, fuck. That's the first thing I said in my head, man, fuck. And he goes, stand your ground.
It's one of those things you're like,
And
I
I
was
went-
cool up until this point, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
No, I'll stop. That's fine. Now don't move an inch.
And I went, okay. Yeah, I said it in my head, okay. And I couldn't more say, okay, and here she comes down the hallway. She's coming down the hallway. Now, I was a prison guard, and I've done, protection stuff before and self-defense things, stuff like that. So I'm not a scan a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And said bitch has got a big-ass fucking kitchen knife in her hand, in the right hand, and I already know she's right-handed. And I'm like, I'm about to get fucking gutted in this bitch. And then the voice didn't go off, but a feeling of,
You're good.
you're good.
Yeah.
Right? Just stand your ground. Okay. Fucking, I would never do this. This is what I said. I would never
Yeah.
do this, but I am.
waiting on
And she
you.
walked up, no color in her eyes. None of the white, none of the color eyes. It's all black, dude. Just fucking black as the fucking back of this goddamn phone. All of it, right? Both fucking eyes. All of it. All black, dude. Dark ass hallway, and she got right fucking here. Hindsight, I'll tell you that the people that were in the hallway that followed me, that were still chanting the Lord's Prayer that I never heard, said they never heard her say a thing, but she was fucking screaming at me and her lips were moving, right? You will leave now, or I will fucking gut you in this hallway and let your shit fucking ooze on the floor. And I went, I can't do that.
Yikes.
And it went, did you hear me? I am going to gut. And I'm looking at you like he was looking at me, the same sort of force, right? I will fucking gut you now. Leave. And I went, you know I can't.
Yo.
And it looked, and if I was it and you were me, it looked over like this and went, and looked back at me and screamed and took off, dude. Dude,
That's
took
same.
off.
Dude.
I was fucking there, bro.
Yeah.
And took off back down the hallway screaming and went right back into that same throwing fucking pans, whatever's going. I'm not going in that room. Fuck that. And
You told me to come here.
I'm standing my ground
You
at
told me
this
to stay
inch.
here,
That's
that's
it.
all. This room is nothing else.
went right back off in the back, fucking screaming, bloody murder, and it got the scream stopped, and then the pan throwing started happening. What the fuck's going on in that
Yeah.
room, bro? Right, and I'm just standing there, and the voice goes, "Now leave." That dark.
Adios.
And I went,
Time to go.
okay. And I turned and looked at him. I said, "Hey, we gotta go." And these motherfuckers back there, all white faced and shit, right? They're all like, "Okay," and they ran.
Like, fuck
The
yeah.
whole
dude.
fucking team ran out,
Yeah.
and I walked out and shut the door. And they're like, "What's that about?" I was like, "I was just doing as told." Who the fuck was talking to you? I don't know.
You just gotta be
They're
cool
like,
with
"What do
this
we do
shit.
now?" No fucking idea.
Hey guys, you gotta be cool with a lot of shit real quick, or this ain't gonna work.
I was like, "No fucking idea." And the husband's like, "Dude, what is wrong with my wife?" I'm like, "Okay, dude, I gotta tell you something.
That's not true.
That's not her."
Yeah.
Right? He goes, "The fuck do you mean? I saw her." You know, and I'm like,
No, just go get your kids and start a new life. I don't know what to
Dude,
tell you.
Exactly. Leave her
That's-
here. Burn the
that's-
house down.
"Bro,
Whatever.
that's."
Borrow other matches from the ground or Jefferson, whatever.
And for him, this is some serious shit. You know,
I bet, yeah.
because this is his life.
I'm so
right?
curious.
I mean,
Because I'm from Pittsburgh. I know a lot of people from Pittsburgh. I'm curious to like who they are. Not to like just pry, but like they're Pittsburgh. Like
There's 14 people that live there. It's
yeah,
like-
there's
right.
14.
Yeah.
I gotta know one of
And
them.
that was 3 of them.
Yeah.
so I said, "Dude, that's not your wife." He's like, "What do you mean?" Did you see what going on? Oh, y'all were just standing in the fucking hallway. Blah, blah, blah. And I don't remember much of what he said. And because I was too busy thinking, what do we do now? Right? You know what I mean? I said, okay. And then my buddy, who's being a priest, he goes, okay, at this point, we need to involve priest.
Yeah.
And I went, yeah,
Call
yeah, we need to do something. Right. He goes, do we know any? Uh-uh. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're going to start figuring this shit out. So we start Googling shit. And that's when we see the date. It was October 31st.
Halloween.
That fucking night.
Sam Hain.
Did not fucking plan that shit.
Yeah.
He looked funny. He goes, dude, it's October 31st. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we start that process. Well, part of that process, she came out of the house. And they're like, I remember, I think it was Lindsay, she's like, hey. You know, and she's like, look. And she's all crying and shit. She's like, dude, what's good? She's in fucking tears. She's like, what is going on, guys? I don't.
She has no recollection. Like, there's nothing.
Until she hugged me. It was not her. She was still crying, but you cannot tell me that was her.
When she hugged you,
It was not right. I felt it.
it was like
She was crying. Or
Whatever
something
it
wrong.
was.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
whatever gave.
Real fucking badass, just fucking tears rolling down her face. And I'm like, honey, look, we're going to get you help. We're going to figure this out. She goes, I don't know what to do. I was like, okay. She goes, I just need a hug. So she gave me a hug. When she gave me a hug, she squeezed me. But when she squeezed me, she dug her nails in. And I went,
Still on you.
and then.
It's
then,
like whatever-
Then her head, when it gets to my head, went,
So it's like,
while
hey,
still crying.
it's like I'm still here.
And I inside my head, I
Yeah,
went,
it's like, you know,
let me
that-
the fuck
no.
go.
Yeah.
Right. She let go. And I went, I'm being fucking played like that. This motherfucker can't get past itself. Right. And I've learned that from studying other exorcists and shit like that, that really know things, have done tons of exorcisms and stuff. They said that They're so prideful they can't get out of their own way.
Mhm.
They will continue and continue and continue to do the same things over and over and
It-
over and over again because they just can't help themselves.
Well, I listened to a really cool
And
podcast about. It wasn't about exorcisms, but it got to that point, and it was talking about the levels of like you never deal with the boss at the beginning. You have
funny
to
you know that, yeah.
you have to get
You never
like
do.
there's lower levels and like you have to get past. It's kind of like a video game almost. Like you have to get through all of them, and then there's the final boss.
They're street gangs. They're never by themselves.
Yeah.
Never.
Right.
The one I was dealing with was not the boss.
It was just happened to be the one that was on duty.
Assigned to
Yeah.
that evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. The boss said, "You go fuck with him."
Right. It's your turn. You're up
Yeah.
tonight.
And it was.
Do you think it was the set? So this is I told you I had a follow-up question, right?
Mhm.
Do you think that quote unquote curses are legitimate? And that could be the same demonic party following a family or a person or a object or whatever it may be that's triggering what's going on.
I
Because obviously it was something to do with. Do you think it was to do with her, or do you think it was something with the household? That regardless of where they set up shop.
that question that you just asked me is multifaceted, and here's why. How do I answer this without us going down another 2 hours of? We could do this a long time.
We
dude.
could have another episode. That's fine.
Yeah.
This could be
and
another.
then we can do this off camera too. It doesn't matter to me. I'll do it on camera, off camera. It doesn't matter because anybody I feel like that wants to hear this stuff that I can share this experience with, that's my purpose.
Yeah.
Right. So I've often been very fearful to talk about this story because I brush past with true evil, right? And I just don't want people to become fascinated with it, right?
Yeah.
Because it has a very terrible end, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know the end of this case because we end up calling about every church we could imagine at midnight, and as it were, we didn't plan it out. I think you went away, but
It was on
October 31st. We were
Oh,
there.
okay.
We were just
Wow.
unaware of it.
We had talked about the date and it never.
Never came
Finally
back
got
around.
close.
When he went PP, that's when Halloween came
And
out.
I don't know. It seems kind of fucking stupid, but we did not plan that way. We had no idea that it was. At least I didn't know it was October 31st until we start doing research, trying to call people, and the date pops in front of you. Man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then so we're calling, and no one answers our call, because it's midnight, 2 a.m, some shit. I get that, right? And then we decide we just need to go home. They need to leave this house because we don't know if it's attached to the house and it's now possessed her, or we just know that what went on here in this house tonight is not healthy.
Yeah.
And you probably don't need to go sleep in it.
I think that
Right,
was.
you know what I
I think
mean?
that was more the root of the question I was asking was, do you think it was tied to
I didn't really answer your question.
the people themselves or something that they were carrying with them from location to location?
Or generational kind of.
To kind of vaguely
This is a
answer your question,
best
but
guess.
if you get it,
Yeah.
if you get it, I'm gonna say it and I'll see if, and I'm not really testing you to see if you get it, I just hope you do. The most powerful thing in the world you can ever do has intention, right?
Mhm.
Got it. Yep.
At anything.
Yeah.
To answer your question, to answer how many beers you're gonna drink tonight, anything you put your
1,000.
mind to is possible, right? So if you put your mind to set a curse on someone, right? Cool. There is a such thing as what I'd like to call a generational spirit,
Right.
right? It happens very prevalently now in my personal life.
Yeah.
With the family that I'm part of, right?
Uh-huh.
They have one, right? That has,
But is it malevolent?
Yep.
Okay.
and it has. Here's the funny part about these things: the whole devil
Well,
thing.
it-
You know,
well-
it's they don't take the blame, but they are to blame, right? So they push people into darker thoughts, and then when those people act on those thoughts, then that darker spirit is now the Democrat that didn't do it, and it's not my fault. You know what I mean? I didn't do that. You did, right?
Yeah.
All I did was give you the idea. You know, you went and murdered somebody, and that's you. That's on
Right.
you.
Well, see,
You
like,
hold that. Hey, God,
When I was.
I told you people do bad shit if I just asked them to.
Right.
It's you bad design. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
who's the guilty party?
Right.
Well, your ass is guilty because you could have not
It's the difference
put that
between,
thought.
It's the difference
in-
between
yeah.
free will and
Yeah. You could
being
have
controlled.
asked them to go really do. You could have asked him to go to the blood drive and get some blood. You could have asked him to go by the food bank and pass out some food. You could have done that, asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, you wanted something evil to go
Yeah.
on, right?
Like at one point in my life, I was a very devout Christian.
Sure.
And I learned that there is toeholds, strongholds of things that could grab onto you, whether it be like a certain sin or certain anything. And I've always applied that to, like, from my understanding, like a generational thing.
Sure.
You know, like alcoholism in my family it's very like it's a thing, and I've got a pretty good hold on it, I think, but also no. But like there's a stronghold. You know, you're talking about generational curses or spirits, and I that's where I was trying to get with is like there is a strong.
Sweet.
That's never happened before.
Well, you did bump the table.
I didn't bump the table. I'm nowhere near the table.
I think you bumped it. Your elbow was kind of.
No, it wasn't.
We'll watch the tape.
Watch the
We
table.
do have video.
But like that, as I was saying, like I think there is something that, you know.
So
But
let's ask
I'll
this
still-
question, and if I may, and I'll let you
I
go.
think
But
some of it too is receptiveness.
we have something very, very current that went on that you bear to ask the question. If you look at it from a spiritual standpoint, right, when it all unfolds, right, look at it from a spiritual standpoint. Go over when it all ends. Go over if you wish to do that and take the time to do so, because it will take time to do so. Go from what you have evidence from the beginning to the end. One more time from a spiritual aspect. Why did Tyler Robinson get on that roof and shoot at Charlie Kirk?
Because
Right.
Tyler Robertson didn't do it.
Let's assume that he did, right? For a
Oh,
second.
okay.
But what the spiritual aspect? What causes a man to want to commit that kind of
Right,
violence
right.
on a person he doesn't even know?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's weird, right? You know what I mean? Because we are not designed that way.
No.
Right?
Well, when it
You ever
happens,
seen a murderous toddler?
never.
No.
No, when things
Yeah.
happen like that, like the sane of mind go, what the fuck happened?
The only time the traditional human is pushed to that point,
It's
is
self-defense.
Self-defense.
Or protection, like which can
Not-
go in the same category.
Not just randomly. Hey, I don't like that dude.
He needs to die.
Right.
Right. I'm gonna go crawl up on this roof.
Oh,
That's
he's
not
been
a-
saying
that's
things
not
I
a
don't
normal-
agree with.
That's not a normal
no,
behavior at all.
no, that's not
Regardless
normal.
of who did what, who got what done to who, just that ideology is not.
So is there an
normal.
acting party that pushes that together, that pushes that person into that place?
It's called Israel. I'm
But you can start to kind of get a sense of spiritual things the way they are designed if you start paying attention to things like that in that way.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So, like, these people, what led her to be in this scenario with the spirit is still unknown because we actually went to that church and we found the priest, right, that we called that night. And he was having a sermon that day, and he was a young Hispanic dude, and he was just full of energy. We just walked up on him because we got to help these people, right? So we just rolled up on him on a Sunday, right after a sermon.
yeah.
And we're like, he's like, hey, can we speak to you a minute? Yes, you're over here. And he's like, yeah, great, man. What can we do for you, right? Doing his job as a priest,
Yeah.
right? I was like, hey, man, we called you the other night, and we left several voicemails. He goes, oh, you're those people?
Yeah.
I'm like, so you got the voicemails? He goes, yes, I got the voicemails. I said,
When I
did you
woke
listen
up.
to what we said? He's like, yes, I listened to what you said. And he was looking me in the eyes, right? So he was listening to what I was saying. I was like, he didn't call us back. He goes, okay, guys. First off, it was Halloween. Second off, it's 1, 2 in the morning, right? You guys are pretty hysteric, right? I'm like, yeah, because you have no idea what went on. We hadn't really told him any detail at that point. He goes, I want you to tell me what's going on. I will listen to it, but I need to give you a pre-understanding. Every year, Halloween, I get calls in the middle of the night of some demon chasing somebody around. It's a Halloween thing, man. You know, people watch bad movies. You know, things happen and they call. Because I'm the shepherd of a flock. People from my flock will call me and need your help.
Yeah.
And I let them sleep it off. And most of the time, I call them the next day. I'm so sorry, Padre, we were drunk that night. I watched the movie.
Yeah.
And he goes, I kind of figured this is some of that. I was like, oh no, sir. He goes,
Sober
Okay,
as a
this-
judge. I'm trying to figure out
I
some
said,
shit, dude.
something serious here. He's like, okay, tell us. So we told him all that stuff. And he goes, okay. I'm like, we had already talked to a few more priests or pastors and stuff that told us, we're not your guy for that, man. Go down the road. Right? They don't want to hear it. And he's like, okay. He said,
First Baptist Church.
he said, so oddly enough, he goes, I don't really believe in coincidence now. He said, because I'm a servant of the Lord, right? He said, don't believe in coincidence. He goes, oddly enough, you're here now, and oddly enough, I know some people in my organization that can help them. Like, oh, so you already have done my education. I said, so you know the parish exorcist? He goes, I do. And it could have been him, right? They'll never identify. They'll never identify themselves to the public, right? He goes, I do. I said, you got that guy's number? He goes, I do. I'm like, okay, can you help? You know what I mean? He goes, I can help. Can we call? And he goes, I can't do that, right? He said, we unfortunately have some red tape, right? He said, so here's the way this needs to play out. He goes, you come as conviction, and he says, I read from you that you're telling me what you believe to be the truth. So this will be
His
taken
bullshit
seriously.
meter is not pegged out.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
like,
this guy's legit.
This will be taken seriously. He said, but this needs to go about a certain way because we have a design in the way we do things, and it needs to go down that road. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Because I've kind of studied their design, right? And he said, so
What keeps them from wasting their time?
he said the first thing that needs to happen is that family that's afflicted, they need to call me, right? He said, not to push y'all out of it, but we know what we're doing. I'm like, no, I'm cool with that. Dude. You know what I
Take
mean?
over, homie. I'm out.
I didn't want to be there when I was there. That's fine.
Yeah. I was like, no, we're cool with that.
Did you tell him the whole thing, like the whole story?
Yeah, whole story. Right.
And he was like,
yeah, there's 3-4 of us standing there, you know, telling the story, right? And they're like, you know, we saw it, you know? And he's like, okay. He said, so I can't just go to them. That doesn't work that way, right? He said, the church doesn't operate that way.
can't
Right?
knock on their
They
door.
need to come.
to
They
me.
need to come to the Lord, right?
Yeah.
When they come, then, yeah, things will happen, right? I'm like, okay. He goes, here. He pulls his wallet. Here's my card. Give it to them. Tell them to call me. Perfect. Thank you, Father. And he goes, and he stopped. He goes, God be with y'all, right? Tell them to call me, please.
Yeah.
Right? He was serious.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, thank you. Right? So went back to the family. You need to call this number. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, he said one more thing. He said, do they go to church? I was like, I think so. We've had conversations with church with them before. I think they're members of some Baptist. He goes, so why didn't they, have they not went to their pastor?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think so, not about this. He goes, well, that's the first thing they should do, right? He goes, out of respect for that congregation, that's the first thing you should do. And if they can't find any help there, call me. Please call me, and we'll help, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, cool. I said, I don't know if he's going to find one up. He goes, you know, I'm going to say this in a funny. He goes, every time the poo-poo hits the fan, they call the Catholic Church. He goes, isn't that weird? He goes, isn't that weird? Yeah, he's kind of like,
So that was going to be a question, like,
you know,
like
he's kind of like proud of himself. Like, I always do that.
in the situations you've run into in that facet. Obviously, there are certain denominations that are more understanding than others, I'm assuming. Or is it
No.
an individual?
And here's
person?
why I'm going to say no, is because
And this could
I
be
The
just-
readjustment
this-
right then was
this could-
wild.
this
I'm
is a
watching
whole
both of y'all.
other
It's like,
podcast.
holy
This
shit.
could be for the other podcast that we will do down the road.
I'm going to say this right here out loud, and it's not going to do me well politically, but
Are you running for office?
Obviously,
said I
you gotta
give a
listen to
shit.
this podcast.
it's more socially.
Just being on this podcast is not going to do good for you politically, dude.
So, well, I meant just from a social political standpoint, but and why readjust and all that, because I'm just going to say it, I am a firm believer in Jesus. I 100% believe that his story is very real, right?
Yeah.
I believe that he was a real man. I believe what happened to him. I have been visited by very high divine spirits. We've told that before. I have no choice but to believe in what I believe.
Yeah.
And it has done me well
Yeah.
to do that way. I do not go to church.
Yeah, no.
I just don't do it. Right.
That's okay.
And I'm
I get that.
And I'm explaining to you why. When the shit hits the fan, such as in an episode in this case like this, and there's been a few other where the shit kind of hit the fan, and we kind of pointed people toward religious denomination, you know, find their way more toward divinity and away from the way they were acting that got them in this bad spirit in their house. Not this sort of level of possession, because that's a different world of shit than having an evil spirit around your house or in your house, right? Also, a different level of evil spirit going on too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a hierarchy, right? And there are dumbass evil spirits, and there are really sophisticated, fucking wise old motherfuckers that will kill you.
Yeah.
Spirits, right? So we try to push people that way. I am, for the most part, very unimpressed with the institutions of churches.
Yeah.
The organization of religion in general.
And I don't really give a fuck about the denomination.
Right. That's
either.
kind of what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
And I'm going to explain to you why. Because I believe there could be a Pentecostal pastor, and I just named that just as a denomination out of thin air. Right? I just picked one to fuck with. And there could be a Pentecostal pastor out there that believes in what he does and wants to fight the devil and wants to do his job and take care of his people and do what he wants to. When the shit hits the fan, he continues to do that. Amen to that motherfucker, right?
Yeah, but there's most of them until they're that way until a certain point.
You know, it's double-digit percentage of priests that are in this world today that don't believe in God.
Really,
It's a fact. Look it up. Right?
they're just doing it for the paycheck.
Correct. There is.
It's a job.
It's a job, and it has a pension.
Yeah.
Right. So
No,
he retires.
you're
and
good
makes
to
money
go.
the rest of his life, right?
Yeah, you're good to
He
go.
said, so I can blah, blah, blah my way through this shit. And be
It's
okay.
1 hour a day, out of 7 days a week.
You know, when the shit hit the fan, that was this priest. Do you know when shit has hit the fan and other stuff that we've traveled and went to diocese, Catholic diocese, Episcopal diocese, we ended up sitting in an office with the head bishop of a diocese in their purple and shit,
Nah.
and looked at him and told him what was going on and we need help, right? Now, how we end up in that office still kind of weird, right? Because we just went here and said, hey, we need help. Hey, go over here. And we walk by and there's a motherfucker sitting in purple and we know religion enough. That's a bishop.
Yeah.
And we just
Yeah.
like, hey, can we talk to you?
He's got
Right?
fancy clothes.
And so yeah, you know, they all want to do their servitude. Like, you know, when someone that puts money in the can,
Well, they want
someone that does that as a customer.
they want to placate
right?
the public to make it look
Bam,
like they're doing
right?
servitude.
Yes, we'll speak to you. Come here and we'll speak to the Lord, right?
I think that's like a
And yeah, we'll speak to the Lord.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to have a go-between. For
no
the record.
right.
No,
I think
I
like
talk to God all the time by myself, going down the road. I go and I talk to God. Hey, God, I got to holler. I do that shit in the truck, bro,
yeah.
and it does me well. And I've been answered by weird ways all the time, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It makes you feel good about my faith because when I talk to God, He answers me in weird ass ways sometimes. That lets me know I'm doing this right.
Yeah.
Because He's answering me, bro. You know what I mean? And I'll talk to God all kinds of, dude, I've been mad before God. I gotta fucking talk to Him when I'm by myself in the truck. I'm kind of pissed off.
Well, that's Matthew 5 where it talks about when
you know,
yeah
okay.
that talks about like if you're gonna pray in your closet. Don't be like the
Oh yeah, the motherfuckers out
the
the street.
or whatever they're called.
But get back to this bishop, if I may.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, we got some bad shit going on. He's like, okay. We didn't say that. We were professional, well spoken. We didn't cuss at him, none of that shit. And we got some bad stuff going on. We need to talk about it, and these people need some help. Okay, what's up? We told him about the bad stuff going on, and he goes, yeah, you know, this motherfucker, dude. You know, the principle of evil is an ideology, right? And I'm like, what are you saying? He's like, it's an ideology. You know, people get things in their head. I don't think you're listening to it.
We have things.
If you want to go, motherfucker, I've been to 3 countries and 100+ cases, and I've seen a lot of shit, and I've learned a lot of shit, and I've spent a bunch of fucking money and a bunch of fucking time trying to educate myself about what's really going on here, and your stupid ass and your cool ass fucking purple ass cloth sitting across that desk gonna tell me some dumb shit like that?
Yeah.
Out of your fucking mind, bro.
You got to
You know what I mean?
But also,
I mean,
My-
you just told me you don't know shit about fuck, and you're a high level official
no,
in
he
this
just told you
organization.
he wasn't
so-
going to help you
Because-
you weren't a constituent.
Yeah.
Well, fuck him.
Either
You
way,
know what I mean?
either way,
Because that's not his place. His job is to.
he's a servant.
God,
He's
like,
a shepherd of a flock.
Yeah.
Well, he's a shepherd of shepherds.
if you
Bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like I get angry about this shit. You know?
no,
like,
you
dude,
you absolutely. So I think there is something that's like the,
Justifiable anger.
right. I think there
Yeah.
is a one true, and like religion's not the word, but I think there's one true thing that people, like this world was built on, and then people like us, we fucked it up. we made it legalistic. We made it our own thing. Like, oh, you're Catholic. I'm Lutheran.
Not to make it about me, but in the terms of what you're just saying, all these other people, I stood my fucking ground when he asked.
Yeah. No.
The fuck's wrong with you and your purple ass? Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I stood my ground when
Well,
I was
you've been
asked.
confronted.
You
Like,
I'm on the devil's shit
by
list.
the other
I'm aware
side,
of that
yeah.
because I got in the way.
yeah.
I got in the way, and you know, like it's shit, right?
Yeah.
And there were some things down the road that I've been tested.
But I
My life's
think
been fucked with.
I
You
think
know what I mean?
there's some
Because of
like if you look all the way back before the Dead Sea Scrolls, like the Book of Isaiah, the Book of Enoch, all those things like that. I mean, these are old texts, and all these old texts, like they all talk about.
it's not a new story.
No, it's not a new story.
Mhm.
Like the Great Flood, not only is it in our Bible, in the Bible,
It's in archaeology.
it's in everything.
Everything.
So like, I think there is something under the veil, if I would say. I mean, I think there's something under the veil that like we cannot understand, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Get your shit together, because I tell you this much: what the book does say, when they were thrown out of heaven, they were thrown to where? Right here.
yeah,
Right here.
yeah. This is a
They're-
prison planet.
They're
That's what I
fucking
think.
around everywhere, right? And the problem is that
This is
I don't know the percentage, right?
For them.
But I know,
Yeah.
I know
For
what a lot of
us.
spirits do when they manifest themselves. They manifest themselves in some way that alters light, right?
Mhm.
Because that's the way eyes work, right?
Mhm.
You just put that.
It's light
together,
refraction.
Light refraction.
Yeah, that's
How
how.
much? You guys can probably look this up, and you probably might know it, but how much percentage of light that exists in the universe that our eyes is capable of seeing?
It's like 3%.
Yeah,
or something
not
like
even
It's
that.
a very low number.
Yeah,
So the fucker could be sitting right there, right now, cloaking himself, and we have no idea. 'Cause
maybe you have super cool eyes.
Maybe you're a mantis strip.
Maybe
No, they control that.
Then you can see. No, mantis strip are wild.
Yeah,
They
they're
can see like 3 levels of UV.
these two baby
infrared.
blues over here, we
and-
can't see
no.
the things you baby browns
These-
can.
These eyes don't even like the sunshine.
We want the lights off because
Yeah.
this is hurting right now. Us
Right.
Irish fucks. Like, what are you talking?
I can't say much. I'm mostly Scott.
So, but you got the brown eyes.
That's because I'm full of shit.
These,
Yeah.
these stronger Irish.
You're stronger.
I'm sorry.
No,
Rachel,
don't you dare! Don't you dare!
I think though a lot of it, like you were
He's
asking a
Scott,
question
not Irish.
earlier about as far as like why
From the
it's
mouths
like
of the
traditional kind of thing to where these demons are into people.
Yeah.
I don't think of it that way because I believe that it could be in some instances, but I believe that it's a weakness because it preys on people that are very weak.
It's kind of why I went back to like an acceptance kind of like
because
at some level you have to welcome that.
yeah,
Oh,
Well, I mean,
demons
not
in
even
your life
that
is the same
in a
as the
way.
vampire story. They can't enter the house
You gotta
unless they're
let 'em in.
invited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
that is true. But I believe
But they
that
knock
if
on that
you-
fucking door all the, they're fucking straight trying to give you the watchtower.
Oh
all the
man,
time,
if that's the
bro.
case, they're gonna be waiting a long time. I
It's
don't.
kind of the same way that kids, that you can tell them something and they believe it, kind of thing. Whatever.
Right.
It's the same way they prey on that as well. I mean, they prey on people that are very weak-minded, people that are not living where they
Well,
need to
I'm
be,
assuming it too.
and stuff like that as well. So
I
that,
would feel like to be a successful entity, demon, whatever you want to classify this thing as. We'll go demon for this sake of conversation, which I don't disagree with.
I'd like to say fart smeller.
Shut up. You've been at this game for who the hell knows
20
how
plus
long.
years.
yeah.
You know how to be influential. You know how to twist those knobs and push
Pushing
those
on a
buttons.
demon or
Yeah.
access to all knowledge.
Yeah. So like, you know the weakness of the person that you're trying to infiltrate.
Right.
We tell people this all the time that they're trying to help themselves with an evil spirit in the house. Like, and we've trained other investigators that want to do that kind of shit. Said, rule number 1: do not ever take what's going on personal. Never do that. You need to act like a doctor that's trying to
Work off data.
work off data,
Yeah.
and you're trying to solve the problem.
Mhm.
And if that person is dying and you're sympathetic to that, you can't be, because it takes you away from
Yeah.
finding the answer.
Yeah.
So you have to go
Well, there
about
is
it
a
that way,
science to
right?
this.
Right.
There has to be.
Second thing that you do in this scenario is do not ever constantly check yourself. Do not ever try to outsmart this thing, because that is impossible. Right?
So you
Something millennia old that's been walking this planet for a million years, 100,000 years, whatever it is, has soaked up a lot of data.
Yeah.
and is getting away with simple shit on somebody right now because it is a master of what word to use.
So would you always recommend at least a team of 2? If you're going
never do this shit by yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking
Yeah.
never.
Because we're 2 or more gathered.
You need to be able to bounce idea. Like, am I going crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, or can you have
But I
to vet
think
yourself, right?
That,
with
yet
someone
again,
else.
that's going to play off of that how weakness you guard too.
Exactly.
I mean, when you go in, even whenever Jesus, he called upon people to be there. He probably just wanted the faith of it. The people that did not believe, he got them out of the way before he did a miracle.
Yeah.
Because he wanted the believers to build that faith to know that, hey, this is going to happen.
Right.
You have somebody that doesn't believe, you're coming in there, I'm a demonologist. I'm this, I'm that. We call it, I had a stepson. He actually had a demon. And he had it for a long period of time. My wife didn't even know it at the time. And we didn't know until he got older in age. And I was like with her for, 8 years, but I seen him grow up and be a teen. And I seen it happen. But the problem about it is if he does not want to get rid of it,
He's not.
it will not leave him because in a way it's just like, okay, well I'll show you a different side, and he got better because I prayed for him.
It's just locked.
And it didn't because he didn't want to let that go.
Right.
You can see it's weird because when you're talking to him, me man to man like this, and all of a sudden you always see him change.
Yeah.
Not just a physical. I'm talking about everything. You know what I mean? You can feel it, everything. And so he would, they're manipulators, so they can make you feel that, everything's fine. And he'll go calm. You can feel the difference, how calm it'd be. And then all of a sudden chaos. All of a sudden, like you can't even explain how the chaos would be.
Yeah.
Right.
And so if you're allowing that to happen, it's going to just keep flowing through, kind of thing.
So how do you differentiate? This may be a stupid question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate something like that from quote unquote standard paranormal experience?
You'll feel the difference. It's a total difference.
So it's a personal thing. Like, if you have it, you can feel it. But if you don't have it, then
it's
you don't.
kind of this thing. I mean, you reading the Bible, it tells it too.
Know.
So where it
like,
says in the Bible where he says that Jesus I know, Paul I know, but who are you?
Yeah.
I mean, he knew that person was of God or whatnot.
Right.
He said, I don't know who you are, so why are you messing with me? Because you don't even believe. You don't believe me. So he knew that that person wasn't of God.
Yeah.
And just because somebody uses his name
doesn't
mean he is his name.
No.
So that's why you take all the preachers, all the stuff that lives. They use his name, but they're not of him.
If you look at the word, and you look at
Joel Osteen's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's
Right.
fucking
See, there
dog
you go.
shit. Yeah.
1,000%.
And you can name a ton of other ones. You know what I mean?
Well,
but that doesn't mean that they're Christian either. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a difference in a person being Christian and a person that's
Pastors and
not.
politicians the same.
They
Find
are.
a rich one, I'll show you a crook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Secretary of War,
Mhm.
Jockstrap, I don't know his last name.
Hegseth?
Pig dick shit.
Sure.
Okay. So he had a new video come out where he was saying the Lord's Prayer, and every other scene was like jets going off, this, that, and the other. And like, there's a lot of dudes that I would consider like, oh, these are men they're good religious men. They're like, yeah, no, that's a big no.
Right.
Like, you're putting the Lord's Prayer in something that has nothing to do with anything. It's absolutely diabolical.
Exactly.
And like, I'm not a religious person.
Yeah.
But like, even when I saw that, I was like, yo.
Anybody ever says, I have the power of God with me and we will crush you is evil.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because that's not a weapon.
I don't give a damn what God he calls by name either.
Right.
We can do a whole podcast about this, about how religions and all that, like you said, the difference in denominations. Well, and I have to go. But
That's fine. This is a good place.
Truck bears!
Let's wrap this up,
Good
and
place to stop.
we will do another episode about.
We have a whole
Yeah.
month for like
'Cause I'm
spooky
like-
shit. This is great. Yeah.
I want to
we
dig
have-
into this a little bit.
okay, so we have God, right? God. Now I'm mincing words here a little bit, right?
Big G God.
Right? We have God, Christian God,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We have God. God
Creator.
has in the story. God has two things He created. Well, God's called the Father, right? So these are in some way His sons,
Yeah.
right?
The heaven and the earth.
Right? So he has Jesus, who's the good son. He has the devil, who's the liar, the master, the trickster, all those kind of things, right?
It's the second child.
Then we have
It's always the second child.
Odin.
McCabe.
Then we have Odin, the All-Father.
Loki.
He has Thor,
And Loki.
Loki.
the good one, and then he has Loki, the
Yeah.
trickster.
It's a very
Stepson.
Yes.
By what name do you call God? And is Norse mythology false? It's the same shit, guys. And it's just from a different culture of people
Mm-hmm.
who saw it a certain way and practiced that way.
That's what. Yes.
The true point of intention is about religion. If somebody believes in a higher power and they take that higher power into their way of life and make the people around them better, you know, fuck what your denomination is,
Mm-hmm.
because you're doing good shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about a lot here, but you know, you know, here we are. Well, I just feel like that religion's not being practiced correctly either. But I haven't read the Quran. I don't know shit about it, right? You know what I mean?
It's a
But-
very kind book.
I bet it
You
is.
should read the Talmuds after the.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm sorry.
You know, our Holy Bible today. Kind of funny that God said at the very end of it, "Do not alter this book in any way." That means God knew you're going to fucking do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been done. It's been.
It's like the
228 times.
it's like the
Yes.
anti.
Ah.
It's like remember like the old VHS tapes.
Mhm.
The first thing that popped up was the anti-piracy
Do
thing
not
from the
copyright.
FBI. Yeah, it's the same thing at the end of the Bible. Like, hey, I wrote this. Good luck. Sorry, this is the book.
Yeah.
See if they did just put.
Don't fuck
please
it up. I know
please
you are.
rewind
Don't
at
fuck
the
it
end
up.
of
I know you
that
are.
video.
And there's
Return
even
this
some
to your
shit-
local Blockbuster.
and I said I was gonna quit, but there's even some shit where I was watching this shit and I can't remember this fucker's name, but I was just fascinated with it. So there's this group of people at some point that hired or got these people together and they said, hey, let's look at the Bible's translations, but let's look at it not from a theological aspect, right? But let's look at it as from an author standpoint.
Like a
And
textbook.
then let's look at it also in its translations and let's ask ourselves this question. The translations that have happened, 228 of those.
Also, where are the books that used to be there that aren't there anymore?
Yep.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, it's a fucking
And then-
wild
Those are the
thing.
good books.
You know, who decided that?
Yeah.
But and not yeah, who decided that, right?
Mhm.
And do they still have them? But anyway, did man in those 228 times
Yes. it's
did they make errors?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I'll do it every day, so they had to, right?
I misspelled
then-
a word in the email so bad last week that spell check didn't.
If
know what I
my
was trying
phone
to say.
didn't like spell
So I
check
get it.
me, I would look like a fucking waterhead, dude. It's bad.
He said he went back to, I think it was the Greek, and he said he just took one piece out, and this was just to catch people's brains and make them go.
Yeah.
Right. He said there's one point in the 10 Commandments that we found during translation processes. So it was, did he say it was, the Greeks translated it from Aramaic, I think is what he said.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say accurate shit here, right? But it was one language, and then it got translated by the Greeks.
Yeah.
And then we translated from the Greeks, right?
Yeah.
He said what often happens during translation processes where the error starts is that every single thing that's ever been written has been written by the intent of the author. Right?
Yeah.
So you have to understand the author's mindset when they were writing it.
So the original text.
Also, there are words that we have now that did not exist 2,000 years ago.
Right.
Correct. He said they found some of the original, and so a lot of the original shit's gone. But what they do have, he said, we found where the Greeks were using, they were translating it,
So
and they missed the intent of the author. And he said, I'm gonna tell you why. So the Greeks did not, in my opinion, translate this correctly,
Right.
And then we turned around and then we translated it
Mistranslation of a mistranslation.
again,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
He said one
It's
of
like
them
telephone.
is in the
It's
Ten
the game
Commandments
of
says,
telephone.
"Thou shalt not covet my neighbor's wife." Well, we take
Please
that
say-
as in we take that in. We shouldn't be thinking about fucking my neighbor's wife, right? We think that we shouldn't go try to become with
It
her,
still sounds
right?
legit.
He said, "But you're talking about."
It's still a good rule
He
of
said, "I'm
thumb.
not trying
Don't-
to take away. I'm
don't-
not taking away that thought process." He said, "I'm not trying to change anybody's thought, even though it kind of is, right?" He said, "But if you look at that word covet, and then he went to the Greek word and used the Greek word, and then he went back to the Aramaic word, and he said, if you go back to the original word and you look at that word at its intent, the way it was originally, that word covet, and he's talked about the words and they were different,
Yeah.
the way they sounded. He goes,
Yeah.
that word meant to imprison or to take, right?"
Yeah.
He said, so if you were to do that, that would actually read, if you were to translate that
Don't
correctly
sex
today,
traffic your neighbor's wife.
it says,
Don't
it
capture my
should
wife
say
in a
to
cage.
you should understand, do not go next door and take your neighbor's wife and imprison her in your home
Yeah.
And make her
as
your
your
wife.
property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's what that
Because
says.
they're a fucking.
He said, we
caveman.
say today we shouldn't go out and think about having sex with her.
Have
But
you-
the original thing was
Don't look across.
don't
the edge like,
steal her.
"Mm."
You know what I mean?
Have y'all? I'll just say what.
You can have sex with her, but do not steal.
Yeah.
That's right. Give her back.
'Cause it's
I need her.
You're
The
done.
dishes will
You're
get
done.
dirty.
I mean, it's a good rule to not get shot. But
So have you? It's called
Yes, I
"The
gotta know
Mushroom
your
and the
neighbor.
Cross" by John Michael Allegro. He was part of the Dead Sea Scrolls translation,
cool.
and he was very proficient in ancient Samaria. Like he realized that a lot of the Bible, he's like, no, we're seeing symbols and you're putting definitions on them, but if you look at other translations way before what y'all are talking about, it's two totally different things.
The word meant a different thing when it was originally coined.
Yeah. And he said the Bible is basically like a fertility, like this is how you make people. That's
cool.
Yeah. Like the word Jesus, when he went liquidated it down to the original translation, was come of God. That's what that meant.
Yeah, like a manna scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it was.
She didn't get pregnant without some.
I don't know, man. I
That's
don't.
not how biology works.
Yeah.
God can obviously alter biology.
I
still
Yeah.
that's the way that process works.
There's a part of me that I pray when I die, all things will be unfolded, and I'll be like, whoa, we were way off,
Because we are.
Or they'll take the headset off my head and be like, you made it to level 37.
We're having thoughtful conversation right now, but realistically, we're trying to put shit together to make sense. We don't really know.
We don't know. We don't know.
We're big dumb animals.
Yeah.
I know that
I thought Jesus was
spoken to
white
spirits
till
that do
30
know,
years old,
right?
so.
and they understand that I don't know shit.
I feel like I don't feel like we could intellectually comprehend the actual truth of most of it.
Some spirits have said to me, divine higher, beings that really understand some shit that I'm talking about, why things are the way they are, and their answers have been quite often
Just so you know, I bumped the table and the
Yeah.
thing didn't fall.
doesn't matter,
Right.
You know,
There's really not a deeper thing to it. It's just the way
it
it
is
is.
what it is. The deeper thing is that it just is.
Yeah.
Just
Which is in a way kind of profound in its own right, because
Right.
because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
There doesn't have to be a reason for it.
But it's all about order to them.
That makes sense.
It's all about order to them, and it's all about purpose, and it's all about what you do the very next second, right? That matters the most to you, right? And that they've made it pretty clear to me that at any point that you feel like you've dishonored God in a certain way, just tell him that you did.
Like, sorry,
I fucked this up. Don't do it again.
I don't think.
You know what I mean? That's stupid.
I don't think that. I don't know whatever God you subscribe to.
Sure.
Regardless of religion, creed, whatever. I don't think any of them expect perfection. I think all of them expect us to fuck it up
That's the beauty in it.
because that's what free will is about, to an extent. Is the ability to fuck up and realize you fucked up and be like, I'm not going to do that again.
Could you imagine how terrible it is? And I'm going to end right here. Could you imagine how terrible it is to be an angel? And I'll explain. Right?
Nephilim
You
or
know-
angel?
That's another podcast.
That's
So-
the next episode.
To be a being that's of energy, right? That can be sitting in a chair right here, look across the universe and see Pluto and go, Pluto.
I remember when you were
Right
a
there,
planet.
right? Just
Yeah.
there. And just be standing on it, right? Because you're not physical, so nothing's going to harm you.
Time
right?
and space doesn't matter.
You're not to be harmed.
Interdimensional.
Yeah, time is not lineal, right?
Yeah.
To them, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Time
affect
doesn't
them
exist to them.
because they're not bound to it.
Right.
Right?
They've known
whatsoever,
me
right?
and they've known the first person at the same time.
And they know the last person.
Yeah, right
that
now.
will ever
Their
be.
knowledge
can
is
travel back and forth to that.
infinite knowledge is like people could throw that word around, but it is absolutely mind-boggling to me. Like I've been on this earth for
In
30.
My point about
it's
how terrible it is
incomprehensible.
to be an angel is how boring is that?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're made to do that. They're made
There's
to
no
praise
waking
God
up
and
tomorrow
not
and learning
every-
new shit
It's
or
gonna
do
be the
new
same.
shit.
It's the same
right?
all the time, every time.
They're so
Yeah,
jealous
he
of
can't
us.
wake up in the morning and go, I haven't jacked off this way. Fuck yeah,
I've
I'm
never,
doing that.
I've never
No.
sat on my hand for 45 minutes and then gave myself a stranger.
Yeah.
That is a great place to end.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh,
I wonder what it's
man.
like to have that
Said all
thumb
that to
in
say
my
this.
ass while that hand. Yes, they don't do that. You know.
That's the
'Cause-
long and the short of it.
I hope I don't get a wreck on
But
my
we
way home.
have-
I hope it's long and short.
We have that ability to not know a lot of shit, and to them, we're beautiful for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because,
They don't get that choice.
Don't read the comments. We're fucking awesome.
gentlemen, y'all have a good night. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
No,
I'll come
please
back
come
anytime.
back. Like
100%.
the October month, we're trying, like, we do this every Wednesday, but we can work around schedules or whatever. We want to have these stories, like, we want to have that on our podcast, broadcasted to whoever wants to listen to them. Like, we are interested in it. We love this shit.
For preparation purposes, I feel like will help you with the podcast. I am much better at responding to being asked things, right?
Yeah.
Than I'm conjuring up what to say.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
That's cool.
So-
I've got questions.
Yeah.
There's one more thing about ability, and I will end that I have learned. When it comes to spiritual shit, for some ass reason, I still haven't wrapped my head around it.
Forgot. Go ahead. I got one more thing before you leave.
I tend to know a lot of things I've never been taught. If that makes sense.
Yes. I got
Right,
Pete.
from a
You ask your question.
spiritual
Yeah.
aspect.
So, are you
Gentlemen, y'all have a good night.
okay?
Thank you.
One more question.
All right.
One more question.
One more.
and then I'm done. So the first podcast you did in this house, you said there's something in this room
Yes.
tonight
Yes.
as you were doing this.
Uh-huh.
Do you still feel that?
Female spirit. Yes.
Shit!
Now have a good night. Thank you. Just leave it.
Yeah.
I like it ended with shit.
Yeah. Let me find the fucking pause button on this hoe. Oh, this is on the. Oh shit.
All right, I gotta roll. I'm late. As fuck. Matt, give me a fist bump. I'm out, brother.
Yeah, you're good, man. I love y'all. Y'all be safe.
Okay, have a good one.
Have fun.
Oh shit.
I hit the wrong fucking button.
Collier, have a good night, sir.
We're still here. Cool Sheets, you are you're diabolical. Y'all invited Bit Boy and Jelly Roll. I tried to stop everything and I couldn't. I hit the space bar thinking that would stop it. It didn't. I just wanted to like make sure Cool Sheet knows I read your messages throughout the whole, like when he would write it. I was like, oh my god, what a fucking cool guy. How does that mouse work there but not over here?
It does work over there. You should put on the right thing.
I did.
Okay. Are
It
we
just-
done? Are we good?
I don't give a shit.
Louis outside. Like a dog.
Louis outside?
Yep.
How'd he get out?